Coming to you from Baltimore, Maryland. It's time for Wendy and Friends. The ever so lovely, adorable, and green-eyed masterpiece of her father, Jack. The funny, the charming, the only Wendy Townsend.
All right, you could probably cut that early. I'm getting a lot of hate messages right now that we're starting late. All right, can you turn my headphones just a tad there? Michael Crane, producer of Wendy and Friends. Welcome to the show, everybody. Thank you for all of your Facebook messages and text messages telling us that we're starting late. I apologize. Eat a dick. Just kidding. Love you. Thank you for listening. Thank you for downloading. Welcome, David Shofer, to Wendy and Friends. Most looked forward to interview in quite some time.
Well, hello.
On my part and on everyone else on the interwebs part.
Well, we'll see.
Oh, trust me, we're on to some stuff.
Onto some stuff.
Yeah. Thank you for coming. I want to get two things out of the way. One,
sure.
Sorry about your grandmother.
I appreciate that.
I know you were a big fan. And she
Yes.
probably had the most badass old lady pictures ever on the internet. Not gonna lie, the pictures she posted were pretty badass.
Yeah, there's a picture I actually didn't get to where she was sitting on my dad's motorcycle, which the way my dad framed it, it actually looks like she was riding on it. And
Well, hello there.
Yeah, she lived life amazingly well and just was a really important part of my life, and I had a really unique she had 5 grandchildren, but the relationship I had with her was different than the other 4. Just the way that we talked, the way that we interacted, how we dealt with each other. It was more of a actual genuine friendship than it was a grandparent-grandchild relationship, and that's why I really miss her.
Are you? Don't be sad already.
I'm not being sad.
Don't
I'm
be
just.
sad.
I had
2 minutes in, man.
Yeah, well, but what you didn't know, and the reason why I'm a little
let it
what
out.
happened? So today, I had a lot of stuff planned today, and then I planned on being here on time and planned on being well rested and everything else. And then my mom had to go out of town and told me last night that I had to take my father to my grandmother's apartment to go look for things. So it was the first time we went to her apartment without her being there since she passed away. My dad's not handling this well, and it's just seeing him in that state just kind of threw me out.
No, I completely understand. When my dad's father died, I never saw my dad cry like that, and it was very difficult.
He hasn't cried yet. That's the problem. It's like he'll do like little bits and pieces of crying, but he hasn't like done the full the reality acceptance.
It's a parent. It's hard, especially when your grandmother was
106 3/4.
Yes, she was around for a very long time, and I think that a lot of people would have lost someone by then, and I think your dad probably just assumed she'd live forever at this point.
Well, I mean, the other thing that you may not know is that my dad, when he went into business for himself, the accountant, the bookkeeper, was his mother. Right. Like, she was always working with him. So he had a professional relationship with her, and when he retired, he kept an office open for her something to do. And then when she officially retired years later, they would still talk to each other. They would talk to each other daily, and then they would talk to each other after Jeopardy and then compare notes as to how they were doing. And this is a woman, as I said, 106, like up to 104, 105. She still had most of her mental facilities, so she could follow along with television and most anything that was where she didn't have to really watch it but hear it. She was fine. Okay. Then when her hearing really took a turn, it got awkward.
Well,
yeah, but it happens.
Again, we're sorry.
I appreciate it.
Whoever sent you this condolences basket from Edible Arrangements, thank you, because Dave brought all the fruit here, and I've been practically destroying it.
You have good taste and good food.
I've been shoveling chocolate-covered strawberries in my mouth like it's my job.
Yeah.
We all have cocktails here because it's going to be a real fun show.
I hope so.
I've
been looking forward to this for a while. You know, I'm a fan of the show. I listen to every episode.
That you do.
And I try and encourage others to listen and try and help out as best I can and try and get the word out, because I know you're very busy. Mike's very busy.
No, Mike actually loves you, and we
help her.
We talk about it on a lot of shows that he's a big Dave fan. He loves that you promote. He loves that you constantly put together the Facebook statuses and the tweets and the retweets. Like, he loves it.
Yeah.
And you guys definitely hit it off when you first got in here, talking car stuff, and then I blacked out.
Well, this car stuff can be pretty boring when you go down that road.
I don't know if it was the cars, or just the two of you talking. But
It's probably been both. Wouldn't be the first woman that's kind of tuned me out. So,
all right, buddy, we're gonna dive right into it.
go for it.
Your final comedy show
Right.
was this past Thursday at the Circuit in Essex.
Yes, the Circuit in Essex.
Not gonna lie to you, I got out of work early. You didn't think I could, but I did, and it was a fucking shit show.
It was
Let's
definitely
discuss.
not. It was definitely not what I was hoping to have happen.
Let's
but it was
discuss
definitely
what
also what I
happened.
wanted to have happen.
I mean, I get it, and I mean it's the last show, but at the same time, it's like, why would you have a comedy show knowing everybody's like drunk and partying and celebrating, and nobody's listening?
Well, why would I do it, or what?
I mean,
where did I go
you
wrong?
kind of knew that was going to happen a little bit, so
There was a part of me hoping.
What was your thought process?
There was a part of me that was hoping that, much like when Red House Tavern closed its doors, that last show, which I don't know if you made or not, that last show was very unique. That everyone was very respectful.
Myth and Moonshine was the same way. It was amazing.
Yeah, it was very respectful. There was a ton of people that were there. There were actually people that came from Cocoa Lane when I told them Red House was closing that showed up, and we all took, I would run 5 comics, then we took a 2-minute break. People went outside, did cigarettes, whatever they were doing, came back in, and the show ran well past 2 a.m., and we didn't have the crowd noise. The second time around when we closed the building under its renamed McGiddy's, it was just a horror fest. It just became people drinking and talking and being disrespectful and stuff like that. When I floated the idea of shutting down Uncle Dave Comedy and the few people that I really trust with my inner thoughts and stuff like that and explaining the problems
You
that I
mean
was
the
having.
entire internet?
Not necessarily the entire internet. There were people that
I'm not gonna lie. Your Facebook posts are incredibly telling.
Yeah, they can be.
And to a degree where it's like, A, I don't think you ever sleep because they are at like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the morning, 12 in the afternoon, and B, they're really cryptic, Dave. Like they are twisted, and people think that you're cutting your wrists in a tub somewhere. What's that about?
Well, as we'll delve into that. Okay, so.
I mean, we can talk about that after.
No,
Let's talk about the shit show.
The shit show basically was what I was trying to do was trying to have. There was a list of 20 comics that myself and another person that I trust, who I don't want to name on any format right now.
Is it Amanda Tracy?
No, it's not Amanda
because
Tracy.
You shouldn't trust her.
It's not Amanda Tracy.
Okay, well, who is this person you trust?
It's Ralph Cooper of RFD.
Okay, well, I would trust Ralph.
Yeah, and Ralph, and to an extent Haywood.
Look at me, I fucking took a wrench. He goes, I will not name. 2 questions, Ralph Cooper.
There you go. Well, that's why you should be interrogating terrorists and see what happens.
I might die, and you know what? This is way more safe. If anything, you're gonna die at this interview, not me. Go on.
Anything's possible. But
so you trust Ralph?
Well, when I made the decision to shut down Myth and Moonshine, which was basically 2 or 3 weeks before the last show, there was a couple people there that knew something wasn't right with me, and something wasn't right with what was going on with the shows. And I had I lost my composure in the back room as people were filing out, and they weren't, I was by myself. Haywood Turnipseed Jr. and Nikki Fuchs were both there, and they saw me breaking down, and they were like, "What's going on, man? You love comedy. This isn't right." And Haywood I'm really close with him. He's a great guy, and I talk with him at least 2-3 times a week. We talk about a lot of things, and I told him what was going on, just the struggles that I was having with the ownership in Myth and Moonshine, and what was expected of me when they released one of their bartenders / managers unceremoniously. All of a sudden, the weight became on me to make Tuesday successful, and my response was, I don't own your bar. I don't own your website. I don't own anything. You're giving me, you pay me a service fee so I can bring these people in because these are the people that are getting paid. I'm getting very little money out of this. It's your responsibility to tell the neighborhood, not mine.
What did they expect you to do?
They expected me to not only book, promote, and produce the shows, but somehow to have crowds coming in spending thousands of dollars to justify the expense of the show.
How does this link to what happened at the Circuit?
What happened at the circuit was the ownership of the circuit started reaching out to me saying, "Hey, we're not making any money. We're having problems. We're not."
Which I don't understand because I don't think anybody would be in there otherwise.
That's correct. Is the response I gave? I said, "Look,
except for those two people on the couch."
which
there's two very large, half asleep people on the couch.
Yes, and one of them thinks they're a comedian.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and he's in talk about inappropriate messages.
I actually don't know how the bartender couldn't bring people in because he was on all your fucking flyers.
I took a gamble on that when I decided to revamp the format and put Matt Kyle, who replaced Jury, who was the bartender before him. Jury got a night job and couldn't make the shift, and the comics that were going to the circuit really loved Jury. He was a really cool guy to hang out with. When Matt was brought in, because Matt used to run Thursdays, people were like kind of a little standoffish, and I said, well, hold on, let's put Matt on the flyer because Matt knows a lot of people from downtown. He works at Power Plant Live. He's one of the bartenders at Lucky's, so if you go there on the weekends, you'll run into him because he always works the open close shifts. And sometimes he would have friends come out, and sometimes he wouldn't. But I was doing everything I could to encourage people to come out. And
they said they weren't making enough money.
They weren't making enough money. They were
Comics are broke, by the way.
Sure enough.
I hate to break it to everyone, but I've been around a billion comics where they're ordering waters or they're getting like one glass of wine and or probably not even paying for it. And that's it. That's their evening. And they have like flasks or they come in drunk already or they're out smoking weed while everybody's on stage.
I have had I remember a show that I produced where the featured comedian on that flyer actually said, hey guys, remember when you come here it's a 2-item minimum, so remember you have to order 2 items. And I went behind the scenes and I actually messaged him directly and I was like, why would you say that? He goes, well, I want my friends to know that they have to buy things. I said, no, it's a suggested 2-item minimum. We are not enforcing it. We're not throwing people out if they're not there, but you just made it a huge issue and now people aren't going to show up. And just like I predicted, people did not show up.
Well, I mean, also, I don't want to be rude. I've been to the circuit a million times, but it's a really interesting venue.
Yeah, it's got a weird and not so great history.
And
if you're from the area,
granted, the bartender was on the flyer, but it wasn't like the greatest service.
No, it's not the greatest service, and to single out the circuit in and of itself, it's had a lot of issues. When it was previously known as the Loft. And
sure.
if you talk to noted comedian poet laureate Sonny Fuller, he can tell you some horror stories about the Loft. And there's a lot of cops that I know. Timmy Hall has some great stories about the Loft. So when it changed names and changed owners, sadly it didn't really change clientele, and it's just difficult. And then when you don't offer a kitchen service, it's really hard to increase sales. When you have a limited selection of alcohols, even though you claim that you're a liquor store, half the time they were sold out of certain things. The cheaper stuff they never had a lot of. It just got weird, and I realized the harder and harder I was working to create a comedy atmosphere, whether it was the circuit, Myth and Moonshine, or any of the rooms that I was thinking about going into, I just realized it was just harder and harder for me. Not that I wasn't excited, not that I wasn't wanting to do it. I just the emotional investment and the psychological investment, it just got to me, and I said, okay, I got to walk.
So you're done with comedy. That's it.
I'll still promote like the club rooms that I'm loyal to and the good rooms that I mentioned and stuff like that. I'll still do that because I think that.
Well, he may not be loyal to us after the show, Mike. Let's hang tight.
But podcasts that I respect and stuff like that. But as to me going back into live producing and booking, I don't see it. I mean, I just. As you said that on the Facebook post yesterday when you were talking about the show, controversial is that's the politest thing you can say about me. Is I've made some very poor decisions and bad mistakes that we'll probably get into as the episode rolls on, and I'm just tired of being ostracized for something that happened 4 years ago, 7 years ago, 8 years ago, 10 years, whatever it may be.
I know, I get it. And it's unfortunate. However, like, your life is in the public, just like
course.
any one of our lives. And yeah, that shit's going to be brought up in roasts and Facebook statuses and jokes and callbacks, and that's just how it's going to be.
I don't mind when it's an entertainment form, whether it's a joke, a roast joke, or anything like that. But when it's constant, like in a 7-day period, whether you're looking at the Facebook
we
wall,
only have our periods for 5 days, Dave.
But but in a 7 in a week, I'll notice that my name is bantied about in less than kind ways, whether on various social media platforms. And I just seemed, for whatever reasons, it seemed to be acceptable, and I don't know why, to kind of use my misgivings and my mistakes and just keep throwing it back at me.
Because
and that's fine. I get
right,
it. I'm a
you are
public
the one
person.
that made your mistakes the most public. Like we all make mistakes.
Oh, of course.
We kind of like lock our shit down. You genuinely make 20 Facebook statuses in an evening about how sad or upset or heartbroken or how you're like one comedy room away from running a great comedy room or whatever it is that you say, and it's like this self-deprecating like
self-loathing
insanity. That it's like we can't just peruse over what Uproxx is doing and what The Onion is doing because Dave Shofer's got 20 statuses and we're curious to know if he's bleeding out in his bathtub.
Yeah, there was someone that said
you cannot look at me and say, oh, it's just too much. I'm being scrutinized and ostracized, and it's like I get what you're saying, but like, do you think that wasn't warranted by how much you publicly made yourself to be the self-deprecating person that you are, this miserable being?
Well, I maybe the warranted is not the right word, but I mean, there are other people in this business, whether they're comedians, room runners, whatever, that have had, interesting, colorful pasts or have done some things that they're less than proud of. And I don't see, for whatever reasons, it seems that seems to be a hands-off approach in airing their dirty laundry in public, regardless of my own posts. And I know my posts can span the gamut. Sometimes there's not a post for hours. Other times there's 30 posts in 20 minutes, and you're like, wow, it's no longer Facebook, it's Shofer Book. I've seen the jokes about that, and some people get really clever with it. But I was talking with Ralph and I was talking with Haywood over the last several months, and we all kind of noticed that certain people that have no right to be throwing stones or shouldn't be throwing stones on any level, or keeping it as low as possible, seem to not get taken to task. And I just was, and Ralph agreed. I mean, Ralph's a big, boisterous voice, and he's one of my best friends in comedy and in life. And, he's like, dude, it's killing you. He goes, from when I first met you to where you are now, you're not the same guy anymore.
Well, instead of throwing a last comedy show, which ended up being people basically screaming for attention, because people were drunk and not listening and just basically just hanging out, why didn't you just throw like a retirement party?
Maybe because somewhere in my head there's a never say never thing. Even though I said I'm out, maybe somewhere down the line I may come back. But I'm not looking that far. I'm not looking a year down the road. I'm not looking 5 years down the road. I'm not looking 10 years down the road. I mean, there is something in the works that I'm producing that's going to fall in the genre of comedy.
Is this the podcast?
It's taking the podcast that I'm working with, Bottom Feeders Radio, and doing a live show.
We're going to bring that up later.
Of course. And I appreciate that. And it's so obviously the skill set that I learned producing shows, I'm going to have to apply to the live show. And that's one of the reasons why the two guys, when we sat down and I said, hey, this is what I want to do now. I want to move forward with this. Getting them to bite into what I can bring to the table, combined with me shutting down the Uncle Dave comedy, it's a nice transition to have something to do and plan and use the energies that I have. I mean, I'm actually using my degree that I got years ago, finally, for the first time in 17 years. I mean, that's something I never thought I would do.
Okay. But you're doing it for it's non-lucrative. Like you're not doing it for any return.
No, there is no paycheck at the moment, but we're in the works to try and get sponsorships and stuff like that. So there will be some form of income.
What are you going to do for money? Like, what are you going to do for work?
I have a part-time job right now.
What do you do?
And I'm keeping that for as long as I can. I'm trying to get back into the auto service business. It's very difficult to get back. Once you're out of the auto service business, man, it's really difficult to get back in.
What do you do?
Right now I'm in food delivery. So I bring you your food. You order it, and I bring it to you. Yay.
Auto service as in delivery service?
Auto service is a whole different ballgame.
So you want to get back into auto service,
Yes.
but you are in delivery service?
Right now, yeah. I'm a delivery driver, yeah.
Real quick, a couple of people have discussed it, but I don't want to think that there's a bunch of shit talking behind your back that I'm not willing to say because you know me and I'm willing to say anything.
Of course.
Was that a fake cry at your show? It was very I felt like it was really produced. It was very dramatic. Were you fake crying about your heartfelt goodbye to everyone?
No, I mean, I've watched the video. I mean, first off, I got to say thank you to RG Jackson, who actually on last minute came out from the Eastern Shore to shoot that.
The pictures and the video were good. Especially the pictures and the ones that Sean Reed did were wonderful.
Oh, the one that Sean Savoy did, I didn't even
really
know
good.
that. That's incredible, and it's amazing talent. But me getting choked up at the beginning, me getting choked up during the farewell address.
It was such a long pause. It was very like a Days of Our Lives type pause. With,
I
like,
didn't.
The hand on the mouth.
True enough.
Very choked up, very like.
There could have been some theatrical elements thrown in there, but that's genuine to me. I mean, as I'm recalling it in my head, and as I watch the video, that's not me play acting. That's I legitimately was close to tears. I mean, when I called up David Nanovic,
You were close to tears.
Well, there's
not quite there. I was
tears. There was tears coming out, but when I called up David Nanovic and away from the mic, I mean, I did cry on him for about 10, 15 seconds.
Okay.
So yeah, that wasn't an act. It wasn't me trying to prove that I'm worthy of an Oscar or trying to create anything. It was just whether you liked me or not. I mean, it meant something to me. I mean, I do love comedy, and I do love.
I don't think people would show up there if they purposely didn't like you.
I have a hard time believing that people like me, regardless of who they are to me, to my heart. I have a hard time believing that people like me.
I don't get it. You have like this self-deprecating manner. It's very like extreme. It's too much. Do you think that people would go out of their way, especially those of us with day jobs? There was a lot of us there.
Yeah.
Would go out of their way on a Thursday night to come watch, 14 comics scream for attention on a microphone, a bunch of drunkards, like two big people on a couch passing out, a fake Chris Restivo. I genuinely feel like if you don't think people like you, then what is it that you need for us to, like, what do you need for you to think that people actually like you?
I honestly,
like, what else do you want, Dave? What else do you want from us for you not to kill yourself?
I don't. I mean, I don't want to wake up every morning hating the fact that I woke up. That's what I'm trying to get out of.
That's a big issue.
Yeah, it's a huge issue.
Yeah.
And it's.
Are you medicated?
No, I'm not at the moment.
I think there's something needs to be done.
Yeah,
here.
I've been in and out of therapy for 20 plus years. I haven't been in therapy for a while. I was in a therapy program, but sadly, I got bounced out of the program.
Why?
Because
Did you mouth kiss somebody with fake cancer during that program?
No. What had happened is the way the program was running at this particular hospital is you had to have a certain income level to qualify for this particular program, which I started. And when I got the delivery job working for this, it's a pizza delivery job. It ain't no big secret, though I'm not proud of it. It's getting me money and paying bills and whatever else.
Don't say you're not proud, because if you are getting a paycheck and you are working for money, then
I'm busting my ass there. I mean, I'm not saying. When I mean
you
proud,
should not be proud of your job, no matter what the fuck it is. You're making money and you're trying to support yourself.
Yeah.
However, I think everyone in the community, anyone that knows you, knows that your family is well-to-do. Were they not willing to participate in your in your help?
Yeah, my family is very well off. I am not. They've made it very clear over the years that, they made their money. It's their money to spend.
Well, I mean, I agree with them. They are the ones that earned it. It is their money to spend.
Oh.
But, I mean, or do you disagree?
Do
you disagree with the fact that they work hard for their money, that they should give it to you? I mean, because I feel like you live for free in your parents' home?
No, there's a rent that's paid every month.
I don't even want to ask what it is.
It's not a lot, but considering to what I make, it's a significant portion of what I
understand. Yeah, but okay. But you have to understand, like, to what you make is very different than to what it should be.
Oh, I know what it should be. And there was a time.
Because I've seen your parents' home. It's ginormous. And
right.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, you came down. We did the pictures for your birthday roast.
Yes, for my birthday roast.
Yeah.
And which, by the way, I loved. It was amazing. And I just feel like, you see, that was a Dave show.
Yeah.
No self-deprecating there. No, hey, buddy, blah, blah, blah. So I just feel like, there's a situation there where, like, you do get a little bit enabled / coddled. If my words are poor, that is probably correct.
You're right. There is a bit of an enabling factor to the relationship I have with my parents, and there is a bit of a coddling factor.
Does that cause stress between you and your sister? That you are taken care of a little more by your parents?
Wow.
You don't have to answer it if you don't want to. I told you that ahead of time. If you don't want to answer anything, you don't have to.
No, the stress is a little. I mean, my sister and I have completely different views as to who's getting coddled by who. Well, I believe that my sister received some benefits over the years that I don't understand how she got. I think that, she got assistance from my parents when she didn't ask for it and whatnot. And that's fine. It's the daughter. I get it. Daughter's always different than the son. There have been times over my years where I needed help from my parents, and sadly, the answer was no. Yet, in the similar situation, the answer was yes to her. So I just, my relationship with my sister, I wouldn't say we're estranged. We're just two people that share the same last name.
Okay.
I mean, but interestingly enough, I've been thinking a lot about her, especially with the passing of my grandmother. I would like to have a relationship with her because she's got 4 great kids, and I love kids. I love being around kids. I've always enjoyed that. One of my closer friends has 3 kids, and I enjoy spending time with her and her kids, and people that are friends of mine that have kids. Like, I just have this innate ability to connect to kids. I don't know why,
right.
And it's something that I've truly enjoyed. So, as I know that I am unwell,
do you think it's more empathy because you have yet to kind of experience 100% full adulthood? You're just kind of I want to be a kid. I want to do these fun things. I really enjoy not having responsibility, enjoying the innocence of life and animals and fun stuff. And kids have that. Pure,
every day is the best day ever.
Right, that pure innocence about them.
There's a significant,
they don't have responsibility, and they lack taking responsibility, and they're just these innocent little moldable brains.
No, there's look, I pay my bills. I'm as responsible as I possibly can be.
I'm not saying that you don't.
And not that you were saying.
I want the listeners, and I want everybody that knows you who makes these assumptions about you to really know what's going on.
Well, what's really going on is that I'm still under significant medical debt that when I almost died at 30, and I did not have health insurance, and that was not a very pleasant experience because it was a double whammy of nearly dying and losing my second fiance at the same time.
How did you almost die?
I I have a birth defect that I knew nothing about until my 20s because I was when in college I went into the hospital for what I thought was a stomach ache, and turned out that I have a deformed or malformed pancreas. So I suffer from what is called acute chronic pancreatitis, which I haven't had a flare-up in years, but it's not a very fun disease to have, and it's a very painful disease. A lot of long-term alcoholics get it. It's not a fun thing to have.
Should you not be drinking alcohol?
I've asked that question to multiple doctors over the years, and they've never given me a straight answer. I've gotten answers across the board from no, you should abstain from everything that could cause flare-ups to, hey, you should have been dead at 30. We don't know why you're still alive. So,
what kind of doctors are these? Throwing their hands in the air, not understanding or not knowing.
I mean, this was 10 years ago, so I don't know if the things have changed. But basically, to go back to this situation, so I was. It was March before my 30th birthday. I had gone to work. I was working at a place called TDI at the time.
How long ago was that? How old are you?
I'm 40.
You're exactly 40. You were 40 this month.
I will be 41 in June. So I was
41 June what?
June 19th.
Okay.
Yes. So in March of my 29th year, so this is 10 years ago, so it's 2005, I woke up and went to work and thought I had a stomach ache. And it got worse and worse as the day went on, and I excused myself from work, went home. The girl that I was engaged to at the time, or actually dating and engaged to at the time, she was coming home from New York, and I said, "Hey, I'm not feeling well. Something's not right here." And she knew about my pancreatitis, and she's like, "Are you having a flare-up? Do you need to get medicine?" I was like, "No, this doesn't feel like that. Something's wrong." Mm-hmm. Went to the local hospital down the street from where I was living. I was living in Arbutus at the time. Went to the hospital. I was having trouble breathing, having trouble doing anything. Literally, I couldn't. It was in so much pain, and I have a pretty good pain tolerance, physical pain tolerance.
How long ago was this?
This was 10 years ago.
Were you making Facebook status updates the whole time you were there?
No, because Facebook didn't exist 10 years ago.
It did exist.
It did?
Yeah, but for college people.
Yeah,
only.
for college people. I had MySpace. Yeah, then this is back with MySpace then. But no, I didn't smartphone or anything. I mean, I was really scared.
Yeah.
And it turned out that my appendix had gone septic and started leaking into my bloodstream.
Did you have your appendix removed?
I did 72 hours later.
Do you have a scar?
I have 4 lipo scars.
Let me see.
There's 1, 2, 3. They're on my stomach. I'll show you later. I mean, if you want to see them, I'll show you. But there's 4 lipo scars.
I don't know. I'm a scar person. Is that weird?
But
I need to see battle scars.
Here's where I almost died, is the fact that my blood was so polluted with the appendix leaking into its bloodstream, and combined with my pancreatitis, they had to run my blood through a oh God, what's the word? Not transfusion. The machine, dialysis. They had to run it through a blood dialysis machine to clean it. And people have always asked, well, why don't they just pump more blood into you? If you have bad blood, they pull the old blood. It was like, because as soon as it touched the system, it was contaminated.
Mm-hmm.
So they had to clean my blood. And I had a 20% survival rate of this procedure. It was very expensive. And when the woman's name was Amy, when she came in, saw me all tubed up, saw me in tremendous pain, and she had just come back from New York from a girls' weekend, she looked at me and was like, oh my God, I don't know what's going on. The orderly explained what was going on because I couldn't talk at the moment, and I'm just looking at her.
Why couldn't you talk?
They had tubed me. They put a tube down my throat so I could breathe, so I could get oxygen.
Why was it? Did you not have health insurance?
Did not have health insurance at that time, no.
Isn't your father a doctor?
No, my father is not a doctor.
What does your father do?
My father has been retired since 1993. Before then, he was an importer-exporter.
Oh, okay.
He had the sole license to... Excuse me. Sorry about that. He had the sole license to import Avon rubber product from England.
So you didn't have health insurance?
No, not at that time.
There wasn't any like, hey, you don't have health insurance, you have to pay this small amount type stuff? Like,
they were concerned at the time of saving my life. They could care less.
No, I get it, but I mean, like, shouldn't you have to? Are you incurring all of the cost?
Well, no, I got a significant discount. I mean, it took me a long time to fight for the discounts, but it took a long time because they originally billed me at full. Then they realized I didn't make enough money to pay for full, so then they chopped 10% off. Then it was another 10%. Then it was another 10%. So I'm still paying down something that happened 10 years ago.
No, I actually believe you, because I'm not gonna lie. I did Judiciary Maryland case search you, and there are like hospital type things on there.
Yep.
So I just feel like, yeah, that shit kind of that shit is backed up.
And the money amounts were so high, even when they reduced it as low as they possibly could. The money amounts were so high that I eventually had to give up my apartment, give up my Mustang, give up my motorcycle.
Ooh, you had to give up all those material possessions to save your life? That's crazy.
Yeah, I know.
Please tell me again how bad it is. That you had a 20% survival rate, survived, and you had to give up your motorcycle.
Well, the motorcycle really wasn't the kicker. The Mustang was. I love that thing to death, and I put so much time and effort into that car. And when I did move home, when my parents allowed me to move home, I brought the car with me. And then after about 6-7 months of living there, my parents were like, "You got to sell the car." And I'm like, "This is going to be a major fight." And that was a very uncomfortable month of arguing and fighting and explaining that, no, I'm not selling my car. It's my car. It's paid off. This is me. This is everything that I want. This is everything that I've earned in my life, and you can't do this to me. And
it's a car, Dave. You had to survive.
Yeah, well,
you had to pay medical bills.
Notice I didn't show up in the Mustang. It's gone.
I agree, but I'm just saying it's a car. You have to understand material possession over your life.
No, I'm not disagreeing. I understand it sounds like bizarre logic. I get it. But
it doesn't sound like bizarre logic. It sounds like
insane
illogic. It's just illogical in all aspects.
I just didn't want to give it up. I'm a Mustang freak. I have a Mustang tattoo. I know I'm a huge. I got a collection of books about Mustangs. I got hats with Mustangs on them. This was my dream, was to have this car. And when I found it, it was something that I really wanted. I wanted to keep it. There are friends of mine that actually remember the car's nickname. And every now and again, they're like, "Oh man, we miss that car." And I'm like, "You think you miss it?" But you move on. It was growing up. It was very hard to deal with. There's a lot of things I had to give up in order to move forward. Sadly, and as I was explaining, when she saw me there and I was non-communicative, she took the ring off her finger and said, "I can't be here." Took the ring off the finger, placed it on the side of the table, and then walked. And I was like, "What the hell just happened?"
So you've been engaged twice.
Yes.
How much have you spent on 2 engagement rings that you've never gotten back?
Well, funny story. The first engagement ring, which I never got
Let's
back.
practice brevity. Just how much money for both?
How much money for both? Back then, dollars were, I don't know what it would be. Just
So what, like maybe what, like 10 grand invested in both rings?
No. The first ring was around 7. The second ring was half trade, my Metallica memorabilia collection, and $5,000.
So you've been engaged twice.
Yeah.
I've known you for what, over 5 years now?
Probably about there, 5.5.
I've never seen you with a girlfriend. Explain this to me.
I am not.
You've been engaged twice,
Yeah.
but in 5 years, I've never seen you with a girlfriend.
Not.
You've seen me with like 4 boyfriends
Yes.
and random fuck buddies. What? Let's be honest.
True enough, you have a healthy appetite for the male species.
I think it's the opposite. I think the male species has a healthy appetite for this.
Okay.
But let's carry on. Right, Mike? Nailed it.
There we go. But yeah, nice, Mike with the win. No, I sadly, no, it happens. I mean, sadly, with this lifestyle, producing shows, and it, look, as I said, and I don't know if you saw the whole speech. I don't know if you saw the video. I ran 16 rooms in 5 years. That's a lot of time and effort working at night.
No, I get it. Look, I do. I work like 4 jobs. Okay,
So,
I fucking get it. Do you really think it's the work? I think women are attracted to work. I think they're attracted to earners. I think it's your self-deprecation that is a little bit of like
it's a lot. Well, yeah, it's a lot of things too. I mean, I think obviously I'm not the most mentally healthy person. I don't have the greatest outlook on life, so I get that.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I live outside of Annapolis, which for some reason seems to be I could live into Crete and people think it's I don't know why. It's not that far of a drive.
No.
Baltimore.
People, look, if they like you, they will make the time.
True enough.
I drove to Gaithersburg like 3 and 4 times a week.
Understood.
You know what I mean? Like, if they like you, that's it. Like, I like you. I'll drive to Annapolis.
Well,
I know somebody that lives
you-
near me who drives to Annapolis to visit his girlfriend.
Believe it or not, of all the people that have come to my house that are in the comedy world, it's you, Simbazo, Brian Preston. That's it. Everyone else that I've invited never come down. And the first thing that they say to me is, it's too far. And I go, well, where do you live? And they go, oh, I live in Baltimore, right over here. I said, okay. And I MapQuested, back when MapQuest was a big thing. And I'm like, wow, so that's 25 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
You have a problem driving 25 minutes to come down, hang out by a pool and whatever with me.
That's what I'm trying to tell you, is that if people want something, they'll make it happen.
Oh, of course. And that's why, when people were bitching and moaning about, oh, your rooms are too far, when I had rooms in Carroll County, when I was running rooms in northern Baltimore.
I was like, yeah, I'll drive to Westminster. Yeah, I'll drive to Two Doors Down Pub. Yeah.
Well, you got to understand, I'm driving an hour just one way to get to the room, and I know people that lived 5 minutes away from certain rooms that wouldn't go there because they thought it was
Well,
just
they were being bitches.
Yes.
100%
agree.
Yeah. Let's move on to a different topic. We have
Go
so
ahead.
many topics to cover.
Do we?
We do. Let's talk about the dick pic phenomenon.
Oh, can we?
Yeah, we can.
Awesome.
It's got the biggest circle around it right here on my paper.
Nice. And I think Mike just had a happy stroke.
Well, hello there. So let's get to the nitty gritty of that. Let's get Dave Shofer's perspective. We all know what we hear. We hear, young, female open micer, kind of alludes to the fact that she wants to see your penis, gets it from you, and then turns around, stabs you in the back, and shows it to everybody in the comment, which, by the way, nobody agrees with that. I just want you to know. We're not on your side because we've all seen your penis, but we're on your side because that was a shit way to see it. We're on your side because that was, the wrong way to go about it. We all agree. And it was the wrong way to share it with the world. It should have been a little more, Are
you saying that the person that this pic was sent to has lacks tact?
I'm going to let you know right now, I actually like this person. And I was one of the first to see it. It's still downloaded on my phone.
Oh.
I use it in jest quite often.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry that it's on your memory card.
I hate to break it to you, but I definitely use it. So I'm not going to lie
I hope
to
that
you.
whatever you use it for, it does its intended purpose.
Ask me what I use it for.
Do I dare ask?
Ask
Okay,
me.
I ask. What do you use my dick pic for?
Memes.
Anything that's like super clever that warrants like a re-memeing?
Something about the thumb being similar in size.
Nice.
It's just, I'm just kidding.
Nice.
I'm not really not kidding at all. But
Cha.
like, give me your take on that. Like, were you upset? Were you like, hey man, I really thought we were like hitting it off?
Look, when that all went down, I had started hearing whispers that the pic was out. And I immediately was like,
it's out, baby. It's out.
Yeah, now it's out now. But when
I really
it first happened,
I really like that you own it. I like that you're not upset about it. You get it.
Well, here's how it went down. Is I was at Red House Tavern one day, and Jim Meyer was in the room just minding his own business. And he leans over to me and goes, "Hey, man, why'd you send the dick pic?" And I'm like looking at him like, I don't know what you're talking about.
You're like, what?
I was like, I don't know.
How did you tap into my browser history?
I was like, first off, Jim Meyer, you're a very large, intimidating man. I don't know. No.
Oh, he is not intimidating. He's the nicest guy.
He is the nicest guy. He also can be pretty. When you're 6'3" and his size, you can be pretty intimidating.
Yeah.
But I mean, I like Jim, and I consider Jim a good friend, and so a good comedy friend. And it was like one of those things where I was like, okay, I'm denying it. I'm just gonna stonewall it. And then Sonny Fuller happened to be there as well, and he pulled me aside and he goes, "Dude, dick pic? Really? To her?" And I'm like, I was like, "Sonny, what the fuck is going on?" And immediately I thought I knew something was going on, and then everyone else was like, "No, we know nothing about it." They were all like, No, we're fine. We know nothing about this."
If I were in that room, I would have been like, "Yup, got it right here."
Well, that's the thing. I was thinking someone's like, "Isn't this you?" So someone's going to flip it around like, "Is this you?" And I'm like, no one did that. They were like, "We just heard about it." And I was like, "Nope, not me." Denied it, and the conversation went away. Then
the picture didn't go away, Dave.
No, it didn't. The
picture's alive and well, Dave.
And then I got asked to do the roast of Brandon Lescure, and I will name drop him.
First of all, we all of us as a community, and if you don't, then fuck those people, felt bad about you being coaxed into that picture. And then all of us that showed up at the roast of Brandon Lescure.
Yeah, we went
all
one channel, two channel.
All of us that showed up at the roast of Brandon agreed that you got shafted because you didn't know what's his fucking face was going to be there, and he's
Joe
a dick.
Welke.
And he made it a point to be like, "I'm the only one that's getting paid to be here."
Joe Welke, God.
Yeah, let's not talk about Joe Welke.
No.
Let's talk about your dick some more.
So the roast of Brandon Lescure, I had major reservations about it, being a part of it, being on it. And I was assured, I was talking with at the time a very good comedy confidant, and I was like, I don't know if I should do this.
Who's this confidant? Who's this golden girl?
We will get to that person's name in a moment, but
thank you for keeping it riveting, Dave. I'm on the edge of my seat. Michael, are you on the edge of your seat?
No, he's not. No, Michael's playing with levels.
Uncomfortable, thank you.
Fine. It was Mike Finazzo.
There we go.
See? Ring the bell.
Ding-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling.
Nice.
Nailed it.
I think you were in better tone than that was.
I'm just really going to move my tongue really fast.
Well, if comedy doesn't work
That's how
out,
I get my dick pics, Dave.
Hello. I think you get them just for the simple fact you're you.
I concur.
I'm sure.
I've gotten 2 today.
I'm sure there's some where you're like, can we not see this?
I'm not going to lie to you. Sometimes these people don't really know me from Adam, so they advance me via Facebook message or Twitter or whatever the fuck. And I'm like, oh, that's flattering, but I don't engage. And there was a guy at 4:45 this morning who messaged me on Facebook, and I was like, who the fuck? And I look at it, and I'm like, oh, he must be a listener, I guess, I don't know. And then I'm like, man, he is attractive.
Oh, hello.
But it would go against every rule that I have to engage, so I was like, man, I'll just look at you from afar.
So you were sending the psychic message like, listen, if you want to dick pic me, this might be okay.
No, I kind of was like, what do you do, big boy, that you're up at 4:45? Because that's my schedule.
There you go. Perhaps he was going to sleep as you were waking up. But
then it will work out.
Yeah, so basically I was talking with Mike Finazzo, and he had some serious reservations about me being on the roast and kind of intimated that this could be a setup. And I was like, no. And I had multiple conversations with Brandon about it. And Brandon was like, no, dude, it's fine. Come on up. Do what you do. So I went up, and literally as the show started, with the first joke out of the gate was the dick pic. And that's when I knew Raquel had violated my trust.
That's when you knew?
That's exactly when I knew. I had
Were
no
you in denial those other times when Sonny Fuller and Ralph and everybody brought it up to you? You can just take a solid yes right there.
I wouldn't say denial. I mean,
But
Ralph
they were
has
like,
a great...
why did you... Jim Meyer goes, why'd you send a dick pic? But at a roast, you're like, oh, she violated my trust. And
Well,
I like that you
understand-
name dropped her because I didn't name drop her, and you were the one
sorry.
that fucking outed her.
I apologize.
Here's the thing, I like her.
Someone has to.
Whoa. That was warranted. I'm going to let you have that. Can I get a ding? Can I get a ding? Thank you.
Thank you. But what was interesting? Well, okay, it's not that was the reality was not at the roast that, oh my gosh, she violated my trust.
Well, it's
the
not even that.
reality
Like,
was
I
the
mean,
fact
she
that
is...
she took messages out of context. She took the image. She sent it to everyone because I had heard
I'm
weeks
happy
before.
that she did it because now she's responsible for my most funny memes.
Oh,
But
well,
at the same time, yeah, I know I can see both sides, and it's shitty and it sucks. But like, I mean, so your dick's out there. It's cool. It's cool,
yeah,
baby.
I mean,
Some people have their tits out there.
I mean, Kim Ambrose at your birthday roast had one of the best lines about the dick pic, and I was just absolutely enamored with her.
You were enamored with her well before that, when everybody knows it.
Oh, true enough. But I'm
Remember
just
when
saying.
you deleted your tweet when you found out she was dating Justin? Remember that? We were Fish Head Cantina, and I was there, baby. It was the night they came out as dating exclusively, and you were like upset because I think you like crushed on her a little bit.
I did have an attraction to her, and we were talking, and we were we were having really different and interesting conversations. And then she took some time off to go traveling and asked for some space because she was going to be traveling and stuff. And I was like, that's fine, that's cool. And
you
then when
like genuinely were like talking to her,
not
and
talking,
then she asked for space.
She asked for space, and I was trying to keep it on a very more platonic level, but
Don't tell me you wouldn't have hit that.
No, I'm not going to lie and say
There
no.
There we go.
I'm not going to lie and say
and
no.
the truth is found.
But I don't think, looking back at things, I don't think I was harassing her. I don't think I was causing.
I don't think you were harassing her either, but you did like her a lot.
Yeah,
it was
I did
evident.
care. I did like her. I thought she was very unique and very different. And then when she
She's fucking awesome.
When she traveled out of country and said, "Hey, I'm not going to be talking anymore or anything like that. I won't be able to communicate." I was like, "Oh, that's fine." And then when she came back and it was announced that she and Justin were dating, it did hit me a little hard. I was like, "Wait a minute! You could have told me at any moment in time, I'm seeing someone, please, anything." And there was never that conversation. Whether she had to have that conversation with me, whether it should have happened, as a whole different issue. The fact is, it did hurt because I was like, oh, I'm kind of fond of this girl. And now what happens? Because we did have a very playful relationship. And then I made it weird because whether I grew feelings or whether I felt violated, whatever terminology you want to use, I just became very standoffish, and it affected my friendship with her. It affected how I dealt with her, and I even think to this day, it's still not whatever. She's still it's still a problem.
Michael, you watching the chat? Up top,
yeah, here and there. Mm-hmm.
a lot of action.
Anything?
It's right there in front of you.
Oh, hello! Look at that.
It's been quiet for a while, actually.
And then it popped up.
All right. Anywho,
yeah. But going back to the roast, so when I say I felt violated, it's not the fact that I sent the picture. It's not the fact that she shared the picture with somebody else.
Right.
It's the fact
which
that,
I'm glad she did. Thank you.
Which is that it's the fact that was the moment where I realized that everything that she had been telling me, I never did. No, I never. That was that's where I confirmed it, because a couple weeks earlier, Ralph Cooper had a very long conversation with me. He's like, hey, this girl's bad news. I got anonymous emails like from unknown addresses from people saying, stop talking to her. She's bad-mouthing you. She's trying to trade your name out. And I remember some of the email addresses. It was like, don't talk to Raquella at yahoo.com. And I'm like,
all right.
Sorry.
It's okay. We get it. You hate her. Come.
I don't hate her. I want her to be happy. I want her to go forward in life. I understand
is
she's
that
not
true? People I don't want to be happy.
No, I'm serious. I would
Fuck them.
I would love for her to move on and do whatever that she needs to do to make herself happy. I have no use for her. I have no desire for her. None whatsoever.
All right.
But I don't like someone that earns my trust, garners my trust, then violates it, and then go be like, well, you deserve this because this is how you treat people. And I'm like,
ooh.
I deserved it because
she's like a vigilante.
That's her justification of it, was that she, I was exposing you to the world, and I'm like,
No, you were exposing yourself to the world, Dave.
that too.
And
not much of a world either.
Let's talk about the heavy hitter. Big news in the comedy scene yesterday, everybody, as Amanda Tracy comes out as not having cancer. Newsflash.
We need to get some special effects for that one.
Hate to break it to you, but it was real obvious Sinead Rebellion when you shaved your head and then decided to put a wig on it and still had eyebrows. Only person with cancer to gain any weight in a solid 8 months. If you can do that while you're on chemo, can you let all the other cancer patients know? Because they'd love to find out. Hate to break it to you, but you're a complete alcoholic, underage, and a stripper now. So how do you feel faking a disease? Dave, tell me about your open mouth kiss with a cancer faker person. Go.
First off, I have to commend you for using an Empire Records drop reference right
Here
in the
for
beginning
you.
of that.
Empire Records, open till midnight.
That is one of my all-time favorite, most quotable movies. I think it's brilliant. Yes, he's on point.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
So,
I don't have any diseases, and if I did, I wouldn't fake them. I'm sorry. Go on.
First off, the open mouth kiss. You're the second person that said, you got an open mouth kiss from her. I was like, well, where was I during this happened?
Well, you're probably drunk, fucker, because you're wasted.
I wasn't that drunk at the circuit.
Oh, that's what they all say. And then your asshole hurts in the morning, and you're like, oh, I'm not sure what happened.
Look, stop reading my Sunday morning
It was
diaries.
the cranberry juice.
Look,
Hello.
Here's the thing, buddy. You came to care for her.
Yes.
She was a good friend to you.
I would
How
like
do you feel about these recent findings? Like, how do you feel about it?
I'm conflicted only in the sense
Do you
that,
believe it?
that she does have cancer or that she doesn't
Do you
have
believe
cancer.
that she does have cancer?
I believe that she may have had a cancer scare. I believe that she may have had
Do you think it warranted fake chemo sessions photographed on her Facebook page? Do you think it warranted telling everybody she had cancer? Do you think it warranted a shaved head? Do you think it warranted a benefit comedy show just for a scare? Because I had a pregnancy scare once, but you don't see me fucking doing abortion clinics outside all the time. I'm not like pro-abortion, blah, 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 blah.
that'd be a very
Oh my
interesting
God,
comedy
look at all these
benefit show.
babies I've lost. Oh, here's Plan B, and there's my face next to it.
Look, going down that road, no, it doesn't warrant everything that follows from that. I mean, maybe she had a
Sorry,
cancer.
Dad, I had a pregnancy scare once, but don't worry, it's because I lost too much weight in a month, and then I didn't get my period until a week later. Love you.
There we go.
Go on, Dave.
I mean, I honestly don't know. I mean, I've had a conversation with her since this all went out, and I have grown to care for the girl. I know that she's very ill. I know that she's got a whole host of problems.
By the
Go
way,
ahead.
this person in chat says you were fucking hammered.
I was fucking hammered.
Yeah, shit-faced.
Really?
Yeah.
If I was fucking hammered and shit-faced, I probably shouldn't have driven home, and I drove home pretty well.
Well, hey, a lot of us do that, and some of us get caught, motherfucker, so shut your dirty whore mouth. Do you want something else in your judiciary case, sir? I don't think so. Thank your lucky stars and move on with the story about Amanda Tracy. Go.
No, I would say, honestly, I grow to care about the girl. I knew there were some inconsistencies with her stories. I think that she means well. I think she has a good heart. I think that she
doesn't have a heart. She has cancer of the heart.
Anything's possible.
Anyone who can fake a disease for other people's sympathy/empathy has literally lack of heart. She's putting people through agony. These people that care about her, they feel for her. They genuinely want her to do well. They want her to feel better. They're upset. They're
Right.
attached. They're
Right.
emotionally attached. That person has zero heart if she's putting people through agony by faking a fucking disease.
I'm not disagreeing with
But
you.
you think she has a good heart.
I do.
When she got drunk and threw up at these comedy shows, or when she fucked somebody on Peter Muth's bed, or when she decided to bang Tyler Dark, then not be his friend and then bang him. Who the fuck gives a shit about all of that stuff? That's what fucking slutty girls do. I don't give a shit. Be a slutty girl. High five. Don't fake a disease. You think that person has a good heart? She faked a terminal disease.
I think that she has a good heart, and my justification for thinking that is that I know that she's mentally unwell.
Fucking duh.
As am I, and I know what it's like to have people.
Have you ever faked a terminal? You know what? Don't answer that.
Have I ever faked a terminal?
Don't answer that. Just don't even answer it. I don't even want to know because I'm just really trying to understand. I'm trying
was
to grasp.
not on the list.
I'm trying to grasp it. It's flabbergasting to me.
No, and I understand. I mean,
who does that? There are people out there that are actually suffering.
I've lost a friend to cancer.
I've lost a ton of family members to cancer. I actually know people with cancer. You know what? When they're going through chemo, they're fucking bedridden.
It's brutal.
They can't drink
It's
like
not
that.
fun.
They can't go out and party, smoke weed, and fuck dudes the way that you do. They wish they could, but they cannot.
True enough. And when I had a friend that passed of cancer, and it was more than just a good friend, someone that meant a lot to me, and it was been some years since I've talked about this. I mean, this is well before I even got into comedy. You know, seeing her go through what she went through, it was brutal. So yeah, seeing
Did
the
you see Amanda go through that?
I saw the only thing the only thing I'll say is that there were
Did
times.
she show you her tits? Is that why you're like covering?
No.
She's like, here are my tattoos and my vagina lip. Oh, by the way, I work at the Millstream. My name's Chemo Candy. Come find me. By the way, Joan Yeager, that's credited. She came up with that.
Really, Joan came up with that one.
She's fucking brilliant.
That is a brilliant one.
I
She
concur.
should trademark that and put it on a T-shirt.
She should do a lot of stuff. Like hang out with me more because
I believe so.
She's a fun time.
I believe she needs to relocate to Maryland, and you need a new roommate.
I do need a new roommate, but Mama's got ones.
Hello.
I just look.
Look,
buddy, here's the thing.
I care about the girl, and I want to see her well, and I want to see her alive. Period.
And I get that. And originally, I felt bad. I genuinely said to everybody all the time, I'm like, she's not well. She's not okay. Clearly, something happened. She's damaged. I felt bad.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And then people were getting scorned like daily by this fucking person, and I was just like, you're an awful human being. And then I kind of felt the cancer thing out, and I was like, that's not real. That's not a real thing that you're doing. And then clearly all this stuff comes to fruition, and here we are now, and she's like one of your besties. I want to understand, like, I want to get what's going on here.
I mean, she's someone that's close to me in the sense that she's offered support when I've been in some dark issues at certain times of the night. Well, okay, more than
you
some.
Facebook status every dark issue.
Not all of them.
Besides Catterday, I don't know what it is that you don't.
There are some that I keep to myself, and you know, I'll text her, or she'll text me, and because I have such a bizarre sleeping schedule, and I've had trouble sleeping for the last several months. This is even before my grandmother went into the hospital.
No, dude, go on.
You know, sometimes 3-4 in the morning, she's the only one that's awake that can talk back to me.
Well, you know, when you're doing lines of coke in a fucking strip club, you're awake.
True enough.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Well,
Was I not supposed to say that?
No, I'm not
That's
disagreeing with you. I've worked at a strip club too, so I know what it's like.
Well, here's the
was
thing.
during-
If she's listening, thank you for my extra listener. My numbers are high.
That's the goal.
Just like the chance of you faking cancer is high. All right, moving on. Let's talk about the podcast that you produce, buddy.
Yes.
The Bottom Feeders.
Bottom Feeders Radio.
Now, how did you meet these dudes?
I was asked by Samantha Kelly, one of your personal favorites.
She is one of my personal favorites. Hi, Samantha.
I was asked out of the blue one day to be a guest on the show, and she's like, "Here's the address. Here's who you're talking to. Can you get there?" And then I roll in, and it was myself and another comic, and I'm like, "Where's Samantha?" And they're like, "Oh, Samantha couldn't be here." And I was like, "Okay, well, this is interesting."
I saw.
And I was like, "What's going on?" And I saw how they were with the first comic, and I saw where it wasn't working, and how like there was something that was missing there. And then when they sat down and I talked to them for about 20 minutes, it was just a real natural chemistry. Just we all clicked.
Mm-hmm.
And then I contacted Chris Douglas, who's the host and creator of the show.
And who's the other guy?
Chad DeMera.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a meeting with Chris and Chad about a week later. And I said, listen, you know, this is what I want to do. This is where I think this program can go. I think this is what we can do. And they had a meeting after that. And they're like, well, we'll think about it. And then I got the call. I got the text message like, hey, show up at the show and see what you can do for us. And since I've been working with them for the last 7-8 weeks, like we've gotten format structure. We've started using time clocks. I've gotten them better guests. We're in negotiations with a couple of bigger name people.
Well, yeah, you can get them better guests because their original guest was Pabst Blue Ribbon.
That is true.
This fucking dude, what's his name? Chad
Hoover DeMera.
Chad.
Child.
Yeah. He messaged me on the Facebook, and I don't know if he was either drunk or what, but
Chad messaged you on the Facebook?
It didn't end up well for him, big guy.
No, it did not.
It did not. He was being real dick. And then I was like, look, I didn't get booked, but feel free to send me a date. I was very polite. And then I think I don't know if he thought he was like cool or something. And he goes, yeah, okay, I will. Or maybe I'll have Mickey Coachella on instead. Thinking that he was like taking a stab at me. But I was like, okay, well, I even said he's a way better guest anyway. Yes, please do that. You would only be benefiting yourself. LOL, thanks, Wendy, with a Y, even though he's Facebook messaging me and my name is clear at the top of your fucking screen chat. It's called reading top to bottom, left to right. I didn't know that you that you weren't booked. My bad. You're funnier, not apostrophe RE, but you're as in your possession. And then I said, no, I'm not. Mickey is hilarious and would be a way better guest, but thank you for the opportunity. Best of luck. Then he goes, so you won't do our show? And then I didn't respond. And then a couple hours later, serious, my apologies for speaking out of turn. I don't know what out of turn means. It was Facebook message. It was a conversation. I just thought you were going to do this. I thought you were going to do our stupid show, STIPID. I didn't know you weren't because you weren't on the guest list, GET, the get list. And then a day later goes, are we cool now?
She's picking now, right?
Now, here's the thing. I'm sorry, but you genuinely thought it would be okay to, like, attack and then counterattack when I literally was like, get me a date and let's make it happen. And then he decided to be like, cool fucking big guy. I could get somebody else on the show, blah, blah. I don't need you. Oh, wait, are we cool now? We're going to do the show? So you can tell your buddy Chad he needs to, A, learn how to talk to women, B, learn how to spell, B, learn how to spell.
And believe it or not, alcohol did not play a role.
That is a completely false statement when it comes to Chad.
Well, yeah, in his part, but I was completely sober. Tell him to learn how to spell my name right when he's Facebook messaging me and it's at the top of the fucking screen, you dick. And second, why don't you treat me with a little respect? I'm going to be a guest on your show. Is that how you're going to talk to me in person?
Oh no, in person he's a lot. He actually has social skills in person.
I'm sorry, I don't believe it.
What are the timestamps on those
Wendy
messages?
with an
Here's the thing, like, I'm supposed to be a guest. You're supposed to make me feel welcome. You're supposed to make me feel like I wanted the show, like I would, it would be like a fun environment, like I'm going to have a fun time talking to you guys. And within that 10-minute conversation, I was like, are you out of your fucking mind, man?
Oh, I completely understand. And I had a long talking to with Chris and about it because Chris is the main force behind the show. And then Chris talked to Chad, and I think that's why you got the apology, because Chris was like, dude, you don't, there's certain people you don't mess with. He's a former independent wrestler. Yes, he's been dropped on his head. So, shocker.
Look, I get it. If he wants me to fucking destroy him, I will.
Oh, well, God, I would love for you to come on the program and do that.
I don't need to go on the program to do that. I'm doing it right now.
You know what I mean.
I know what you mean. Do you want me to show him a picture of your penis? Because I have one.
By all means, meme it. Meme it, and I'll give you his. I will give you his cell phone number.
I'll be like, hey, do you want to see a picture of Chad?
No, I think you should be like, hey, you want to see my vagina? And then just send the dick
I'll be
pic.
like, Chad's next guest.
There you go. But no, I mean, I love working with the guys.
Who's got one thumb on the tip and is Chad's next guest?
There we
this
go.
This guy.
All right.
Hello.
But no, Chad. I mean, Chad's an interesting personality. Chris is an interesting personality, and I like working with these guys. I think they got something going.
Somebody just wrote certain people you don't mess with. Exactly. I don't agree with that person either. You can mess with me. I don't care.
Yeah, but
you're making me sound like an elitist.
No. I don't mean it.
To these chat members.
No. Hold on.
Certain people you don't mess with.
Hold on, chat people.
I don't have an entourage, okay,
no,
guys?
No, she doesn't. She rolls with Oliver, and that's as far as it goes.
Yeah, I'm in slippers right now, and I don't have a bra on. Shit's not getting done.
Well, this is going to go to hour 2. But the point is that, when I say don't mess with, it's like you have a tremendous amount on your plate. You're doing a shit ton of stuff.
Yeah.
And
That's a fact.
And so you have, believe it or not, whether you want to believe it or not, you have a cachet about you. You have achieved a level of name recognition in and around the Baltimore City area.
Really not that cool, buddy. Really not that cool.
Perhaps you don't think so. The people I run into do, and that's why I was like, Chad, if we want to get her, you got to play nice. You can't just shine her on and think that you can throw heat at her and kayfabe this thing. Those are wrestling terms for those that the one wrestling fan that may listen to the show.
His name is Justin Schlegel.
Then Justin will know. Yeah, Chad was just trying to throw some heat at you and have you bite back, and you know what? That's not you.
Yeah, I like to be respect. I want you to treat me like a person, like a lady. I want you to be like, hey, really good to meet you. Hey, really excited to have you on the show. I'll be like, oh my God, me too. Can't wait. I want to have some PBR and fucking talk shop at your show. But no, it was like, oh, if you don't do my show, I'll get Mickey instead. I'm like, fucking do that because he's a better guest anyway. I'm not afraid to take second stance to that because he is awesome. So get him on your fucking show because it'd be a way better fucking show. What do you think? I'm going to be upset? I'm not upset. That would be like going, hey, I'm going to get Amy Schumer instead of you. I'd be like, fucking awesome. Thank God, because I want to listen to Amy Schumer talk. She's way better than me.
I'll listen to that podcast, right?
Right?
Mike with the win.
Mike's always with the wins. Look at it. He's the brawn.
He is.
He is the brawn. I'm
he knows
normally
what
the
he's-
beauty, but I didn't shower today. And don't take that as a level of importance.
You were here early enough. You could have showered.
No, that was inaccurate. I was coming from my friend Megan's house because she complains that we never see each other, so I had to do a drive-by. And we had some Dunkin' Donuts coffee over an hour chat on our big, fat, comfy couch that I wanted to take a nap on, but
There we go.
moving on.
Coffee.
I digress.
Dunkin' Donuts.
Digression sessions.
Yo, did you want to plug that?
No,
You
I
fucking
just
son of
felt-
a bitch. Can you stop plugging
Sorry.
on the podcast?
I apologize. We'll clear that up in post.
Oh, will we? The brawn over here is the one that's going to
I don't
the
edit.
editing.
we don't edit anybody's thoughts.
Whether the edit button hasn't come in yet.
All right, well, we talked about all the major points that I wanted to talk about.
Sure.
I have a couple more things on here, and then we will let you go, and I will eat all your fruit.
Go ahead. And then I still have a gift for you that I would like to give you.
Ooh, a gift!
Do you want to do the gift now?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
All
Do you know
right,
me?
then.
I love presents.
I know you love presents.
Are you out of your mind?
And I know that you love a lot of things. So let's see if she likes this gift.
Oh, what is it? What is it?
Well, let's find
Guys,
out.
Dave got me a gift.
I know. I think I'm the first person to bring a gift to the Wendy and Friends
That's
show.
inaccurate, actually.
Or not.
Everybody brings gifts.
It depends
Everyone-
on whether it's liquid or not.
Yeah, I've gotten
well,
a
alcohol.
delicious chocolate, white and milk chocolate covered apple from Michelle Belenky, which was delicious. I destroyed it. Thank you.
That's a thing that exists.
Big bottle of, yes, a big bottle from Godiva. She got it. A big bottle of Ruby Red from Jeremy Hall. Didn't Dylan Meyer bring something? Joan brought an entire bar full of stuff. Joan and John Yeager when they were here.
And they brought a
So let's
meatloaf.
see if she likes what this is. Let's see if she figures it out.
Bubble wrap.
Is this a puppy brush?
No.
What is this?
Look closely.
It's a mirror.
No. Look at the handle.
I'll bet it's hollow.
I don't know what's happening, Dave.
It's a flask.
OMG.
There should be a funnel in that box too.
This is a brush flask?
Yes, it is.
This is a wonderful gift.
I have a funny feeling that will be used.
Oh my God. Oh my
She's
God,
gonna
it's a
fill
brush.
it. She's gonna fill it before she leaves.
It's a brush with a mirror. Oh, what are you doing? Just brushing my hair.
It, according to the
Wow.
advertisement.
Needs
Yep, there's the
needs a
flat.
straw.
There's the funnel right there.
Yeah.
It holds, I believe, 8 ounces.
Well, look at that.
Hello there.
Well, hello there.
Now,
I just happen to hold 8 ounces also.
and I believe that now the live remotes on certain parts of the show will now have a brush attending.
Man, thank you for that. That's a wonderful gift.
I figured you'd get a kick out of that.
Oh, I'll get more than a kick out of it.
I had the option. I was looking at it in terms of gifts.
They didn't bring me one.
No, I didn't, sir. I apologize. Maybe.
There's 2 big things of fruit here, Michael.
That
okay?
is true. But
I need a brush.
well, hey, let's not ruin the illusion, sir. But I was looking at online gifts for you, and because we have been friends for a while, and I do hold you in very high regard.
Did he buy that from the Mike O'Mara Amazon link?
No, I did. Well,
Oh, well, I really hope so. since
Sorry,
Mike's
Oscar.
Since Mike's going to have a heart attack.
There we go. But it was either that, the flask brush, or 3 flask suntanners that you could take to the beach that look like suntan
Oh, no, I
oils.
just drink on the beach, and I don't give a fuck.
But I figured the flash hairbrush would be something that you would definitely get a kick out of.
Look, dude. No, thank you for my gift. That was all. That's a wonderful gift, and I will use it. You bet your hiney hole.
Ugh.
What? Your turd cutter? You don't want to bet that?
Kind of need
I just like that term.
it.
Mike and I laughed about that today.
Astacular is also a good term too.
Have you seen Amy Schumer's new video? Milk, lemonade around the corner, fudge is made.
Did not.
This is where my poo comes out.
Did not watch the
Oh,
video.
well, we played it on the air this morning, and it was wonderful, and I showed the video to Mike yesterday, and it was beautiful.
Have not seen it. Saw some 70+ length comment threads by a series of Baltimore comics that took umbrage.
Oh, well,
whatever.
if you don't like her, hate is gonna hate.
True enough.
hate.
I
milk,
think, you know,
milk, lemonade, round the corner, fudge is made. This is when my poo comes out. This is when my poo comes out.
I will have to watch it.
She's
I get
wonderful, and her and I need to be best friends forever.
That could possibly happen the next
did
time
we
she's
just
around.
become best friends?
I believe the next time she's coming through Baltimore, she's going to have to go to that radio station.
I do have the contact information, baby doll. I'm calling it tomorrow.
Hello.
That's a handy Rolodex to have.
And just remember, if we run short on duct tape,
Duct tape turns no into
where's Amy been? Don't know.
Don't know, but she was literally asking for it. That's a Ryan Nazer joke.
Oh God, I love Ryan.
So real quick, 2 more topics, and
Sure.
we're gonna get the fuck out of here. Comics that you don't like, you don't confront them for not liking them, but you won't book them or you won't talk to them. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about you being weird with the comics.
I think I'm a weird person in general. So
What, you don't like them if they don't show up in time? They cancel? What do you don't think they're ready?
Look,
What's your deal?
There's certain comics that I think that for whatever reasons think they're entitled to certain levels of that may have achieved certain levels of success or have they believe that they're farther in their career, farther in their comedy advancement than
I'm going to stop you right
go.
there and say every female you've ever paid in their first 6 months of comedy is that person you're describing.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
I'm not. Look, first of all, I'm one of them, fucker. I'm just saying.
Welcome to the last episode.
If they had a vagina, it was evident that you were going to book them for a host or guest spot, and you were going to pay them, and they knew it. I mean, you were very, very, very prominent about doing that, especially in the later parts of the Uncle Dave comedy.
Yeah, I would try and get women involved as much as possible.
Well, Luther.
And I have no.
I get it, but I'm just saying, sometimes they're not ready. Sometimes they're,
True enough. Look, it's backfired on me. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, fucking duh.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. It's sometimes it's backfired. Other times it's worked. But for the most part, and I've had this conversation both with Mike Finazzo and I even think even with yourself possibly, the reason why I prefer.
How many times did you talk to Mike Finazzo a lot? You brought him up a lot.
Mike has been consistently one of my most solid friends, best friends in comedy since he became a comic.
He probably just answers the phone. Like best friends, really? He's your best friend in comedy.
At one time he was. I mean, we had a bit of a falling out, and then we're
I think you've had a falling out with all of us.
There's some I haven't.
Like who?
Haywood and Ralph never had a falling out with them.
Because they're black dudes that get high. Come on, dude. They don't fucking give a shit about anything. They're like, cool,
oh no,
buddy.
they give a shit. Trust me. You should hear. You should be privy to some of the conversations that I have.
I'm good. No thanks. Ignorance is bliss on my side.
There we go.
I have a fat ass. We're friends. I'm friends with them. They're nice guys. I love them, and I have a big fat butt and really nice shoes, and then we're all buddies.
And Ralph and Haywood actually speak very highly of you when your name comes up.
Because they're taller than me. They should speak highly of me.
Jeez. Where did we go off the rails? But,
I always go off the rails. Have you met me?
Once or twice.
Have no rails.
Yeah, there are no rails.
No, I mean the
Bumper cars around here.
Hello. But the thing is that, have I had a falling out with everybody? No, there's certain people I've never had a falling out with.
Those 2 black dudes you just mentioned.
Yeah, Haywood, Ralph. There's a couple of other people that the names escape me at the moment, just because I'm just I'm exhausted and everything else. But
you're exhausted.
It's been a long day. Going to my grandmother's apartment really messed me up, man. I did not expect to feel that way.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm a little mentally.
What time did you wake up today?
I woke. Well, let's see. I got home from work at.
I didn't ask what time you got home from work, Dave. I asked what time you woke up, like from a sleep.
I woke up at around 8:30.
Okay, you just been going all day. You went to work. You went to grandmom's. You drove here.
Yeah.
Packed some fruit. Gave me a gift.
Yep.
Very busy day.
Yeah, I fell asleep at around 5 a.m.
Okay.
So yeah, like you're working on limited sleep, I'm working on limited sleep. It's a little punchy for me, and I don't know why. I wish I could sleep, and I haven't been able to.
As soon as my head's down, I'm out. I'm out for the count.
Sadly, when my head goes down, my brain starts racing about all the.
Sometimes when my head goes down, I'm very busy, but most of the time, when my head goes down, I am snooze fest central.
I used to be able to do that. I used to be able to fall asleep anywhere.
You used to put your head down and be busy.
There we go.
I
yes.
knew it.
I revelation. That's right there. It's a Wendy and Friends exclusive.
Dave Shofer is gay, everybody, and those people he was engaged to were men.
Exactly. That's exactly it. It has nothing to do with my.
I hate to break it to you,
psychotics.
but even if you came out as gay, it wouldn't be as riveting as your penis and or someone faking cancer. We would literally be like, "Cool, you're gay. That's awesome. High five. Here's a rainbow cake. Don't go to Indiana." I genuinely think that if you were gay, it would be way cooler than if we saw your penis and or somebody faking cancer.
Yeah, I have to.
I would
agree
be
with you
totally on board. If you were gay, I'd be like, you'd be way cooler to me.
The fact that you use the word cooler and me in that sentence.
Well, that's the most self-deprecating compliment. You just fucking took that and turned it around and twisted it and stabbed yourself.
I did. It's my talent.
It's not a talent. It's not a talent.
I'm sorry, my mental disease. We'll go from there. How about that?
We're loosely saying mental disease. It's a loose statement.
Loosely, big loosely.
Hold
No,
on,
I mean,
loosely.
but
38 special.
But no, the thing about booking women comics, befriending women comics, dealing or paying women comics, like I said in the farewell speech, and I'll mean this for as long as I'm alive and as long as I'm involved in some level on comedy. And excuse me for a second, is that I do think that the female comedy population, regardless of the area, does for whatever reasons get overlooked or subjugated, or they're only booked because they're a woman, or they're only booked because they happen to look a certain way or they tell one joke really well. I've been as guilty as anybody else as putting together shows and saying, oh, I think this person should do it because blah, 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 blah.
You're the only person I know who writes in the email, females have priority.
Yeah, I was doing that for a while.
And then there's a picture of your dick pic as an attachment.
I think it's the Gmail cover pic. But that being said, I've worked with you for a bunch of different shows over the years, and you've always been professional. You've always brought in a great energy and performance, and I've noticed, especially with the last several years of Uncle Dave comedy, a year and a half, whatever. I've noticed that when dealing with female comics or dealing with female performers, whatever you want to call them, they've been easier to deal with for me. They've been less dramatic to deal with. There's less demanding.
Are you fucking kidding me? Less dramatic?
Yeah, I'm not kidding. They've been
less dramatic.
Yeah, less dramatic.
One of them has a picture of your dick. Now all of us do. That's less dramatic? Are you nuts?
Dramatic, not traumatic. D-R.
Yeah, I said dramatic. Yeah, no. Did you just say traumatic? Did you say your dick was traumatic?
I'm sure there's several people. I'm sure there's several people that's seen it that were like, I'm good for eating for the rest of the day.
Oh man.
But no, I mean, I find women. I find women easier to work with. I find women easier to deal with. I find women easier to.
No man would ever say that.
But that's how I have experienced it. Like, I've booked some people that whether you like it or not. What? Huh?
Like, it might give me a look. Like, fucking shut the fuck up.
But I'm just saying overall.
They're easy to work with.
Overall, I mean, it's been easier.
Get some lube and they are.
Overall, it's been easier to have. I mean, they promote better. They bring their friends better. They make sure everyone's happier.
Girls don't have friends. They have followers. And people are like, yeah, I'll go to your show. Hope we can bag later. I'll buy her a drink, buy her a shot.
Hello.
They're like, hey, yeah, I'll go to your comedy show. Yuck, yuck.
Look, what I said about you on Facebook, the first time I ever even met you was at the old Magoobies. You were doing the new talent contest.
Yeah, I know that.
And
I was there.
And you were walking around, like, all your friends were scattered all throughout the room, and you were checking on every single one of them like you worked there. And little did I know that you worked upstairs at the time.
Yeah.
And, like, to see you check on people and to care about people, and then they're like, okay, and our next comic's Wendy Townsend, and you're, like, hustling to the stage and doing your 5 minutes, and everyone's
it was
just
10 minutes.
Or 10 minutes, whatever it was. I mean, to see you perform, as I know in the back of your head, you're like, okay, I'm performing, and you're looking around going, but they didn't get their shit yet. Come on, guys, hurry! Come on, these are my people. What's going on here?
These are my people.
Right, and you've always been. I mean, look, when you worked at Sonoma's, the staff loved you. When you did,
yeah, because I was like, take care of your fucking bartenders, you cheap sons of bitches, getting water.
Yeah, when you had the show, when I put the show together at Red House Tavern that you closed out, or at McGiddy's or whatever it was named. I mean, you did a phenomenal performance. Mike Boyer loved that performance.
Mike Boyer, that one guy, loved that performance. It was phenomenal.
I mean, it was
I gave him a fake pill. He didn't even know what he was taking.
Had no clue what he was taking.
He was like, "Do you have any ibuprofen? I have a headache." So I gave him a Mucinex, and I was like, "I hope that works." I don't fucking know. I was like, "Here you go. It's a painkiller. You got that?"
I mean, you have done. I mean, look, and I'm speaking honestly here. You filled in when a very large name comic canceled because she didn't clear her schedule with her manager. You filled in with less than anyone's notice. Got people to come out and had a phenomenal 20 minutes.
I did get a lot of people out of that show.
And
too.
that Fish Head
with the quickness.
And the Fish Head Cantina was forever grateful. Your birthday show still holds the all-time sales record on a Monday night there.
Well, you know why it should? Because my friends have money.
Also, the fact that 80 people came up to see what exactly was going to happen, and we wound up having 110 show up, and it was just, I mean, it was one of my favorite shows to produce.
My favorite part was I was like, "Can we get the outside?" And you're like, "I mean, I don't know. Can we fill the outside?" And I was like, "Can we fill the outside?"
And we did. And then Christina misses you dearly. I mean,
we chatted a little bit today, actually.
She was a guest. She was a guest on the podcast last week, and she's like, "Hey."
On the bottom feeders?
She was there.
Did they treat her nicely? This Chad Hoover Demera guy?
Yes, he did. He was on his best behavior.
Which I think is shitty behavior still.
There we go. Perhaps one day I'll get you in the show. We'll see how it works.
Not going to happen.
All right.
I hate to break it to you, but Mickey's available, so why don't you call that guy?
Much rather have someone that
I mean, if your friend Chad's going to be a dick.
And Mickey hasn't put out a podcast in a month.
Oh.
Really? Really?
He hasn't released the audio from the live episode yet. There's been technical.
With Rob and Joe?
His last podcast was March 9th.
Yeah, there's been technical difficulties, and there's no podcast this week due to technical difficulties, nor are there any upcoming podcasts at the moment, according to the official
Man,
It's
you
Mickey
guys
page.
are...
How you doing, Oscar?
You guys, easy.
Boys, you're both beautiful.
Mike, call Oscar. Tell him we're available.
I'm sure he knows.
Oscar, do you know that we are
He's
available for a
in
time slot?
He's in Key West right now, so we'll give him
Yeah?
a week off.
All right. Well, if you're in Key West getting more tan and sexy, Oscar, you just give us a call here at Wendy and Friends.
That's right, because she's nowhere near as intimidating as Robert.
That's
Spiwax intimidating?
No.
Robert Andrew.
Robert
Oh.
Andrew.
Yeah.
Yeah, nowhere near as intimidating as that diplomatic young sir who has zippy opinion on the negative side.
True enough.
Just kidding. I love him. He's wonderful, and Mariah Carey is pretty great. So.
She had a very good run.
Wow.
Not a big Mariah Carey fan. Sorry,
Well, you're no fucking duh, asshole. She had a good run. Well, she was okay.
20 years ago.
She's still doing great. She looks great. She still sing great. What the fuck, buddy?
I'm sorry. If
you
you ever
just want to
listen,
make enemies everywhere you go, don't
if
you?
you've ever listened to the Mariah Carey voicemails when she had that website with the voicemails where she'd leave the daily affirmation
I don't listen to her
voicemail.
voicemails, but I do listen to the number one hits of Mariah Carey, which were pretty much all of them.
Okay, well that album in and of itself is probably pretty good.
What about We Belong Together? Come on, it's like number one.
Doesn't
I
ring
didn't
bells.
mean it when I said I didn't love you so. I should have held on tight. I never should have let you go.
not ringing
I
any
didn't
bells.
know nothing. I was stupid. Nothing? Come
Nope.
on.
Sorry.
I was lying to myself.
R&B is not my thing.
She lost me when she went R&B rap.
Are you
Yeah.
kidding?
Yeah.
Mike,
We Belong Together is wonderful.
It very well may be not my genre. Hard rock, heavy metal, classic rock.
What's
some
your favorite
acoustic-
song of all time, Dave Shofer?
Oh Jesus!
Come
My
on, that should be a
favorite-
quick answer.
You have time for that list?
I don't have
my
any fucking time, but I need to know.
Can I have a tie, or do you need just one song?
Wow, you just really want everything, don't you?
Well, I'd like to, but it ain't gonna happen. Oh, Jeopardy theme!
By the way,
This man is earning his
12 for girls and 14 for boys is not the age of consent. It's the age of puberty.
Thank you, Alexis Trebek.
I'm here for you.
All right, and can you say dollars with
And
a
now for the Daily Double.
Can you say dollars with a Canadian accent?
Dollars.
Ah,
dollar.
he knows that sound clip. Fucking dollars.
All right, give me your
All right.
two favorite songs of all time.
Listen to it 24 hours a day.
I would have to say, okay, two favorite songs. Oh God, I would have to say, and I'm okay. So one would be Rush, La Via Strangiata, which is actually not a song; it's an instrumental but it's an amazing 9+ minute song, and I'll listen to it no matter whenever it comes on. The other is Metallica from And Justice for All. It's Frayed Ends of Sanity. It has a huge meaning to me. That particular song, it was...
Well, it's something about
Napster
sanity
Killers.
in the title.
No, you
If you could bang any celebrity, who would it be?
bang any celebrity. Ooh.
How do you have to think about this shit? That stuff's got to be at the tip of your tongue. I have a fucking answer for all these questions anytime anybody ever asks.
Gina Gershon or Eliza Dushku?
Gina Gershon's a good one. If you could bang any local comedian, who would it be? Look, we already talked about your penis, so I don't know why you'd hold anything back now. Kim Ambrose. She's not even local anymore. It's got to be local.
Has to be within the greater Baltimore area.
Is it
DC?
Amanda Tracy? You want to see what the hype's about?
No, would not be Amanda.
Don't lie to me, dude.
I'm not lying.
You can change your wig. You'll be a different person every day.
This is why I love you, is because you just that filter just man, you're so
What filter?
What filter?
exactly. That's what I'm saying. Local.
And if you could bang any local female comedian, who would it be?
I've never
There's
really
a list. I mean,
I've never really
there's
given.
tons of us.
I mean, to be honest, and I'm not trying to be political. I'm not trying to bullshit you. I'm not trying to backslide. I've never truly given it much thought.
Shut the fuck up. Everybody
no, seriously,
has.
seriously. I've
If
never.
Rob and Joe have given it thought, Dave Shofer
That's because
has.
it's Rob and Joe,
Who
and that's
gives
what
a
they
shit?
do.
Yeah, but they both have hot fucking girlfriends. Out of anybody who's not giving it a thought, it should be those two. You're the one that sits at home at night with your fucking cat, dude. Who do you want to fuck? Dave, now's the time to get the people on your side. Don't be coy. Look, no, don't be coy.
No. Kill that for a second.
Yeah.
I'm not being. I'm not.
but here's
I'm
the thing,
being
look,
100% honest.
I
and
know,
it's,
but
and
look,
I'm just saying,
Dave, this is be you. Be real. Let it out. Expose yourself. Be raw. Be the Samantha Kelly I need you to be right now. Open up your wounds. Get all the fucking shit out. And just be honest. But you know what, Wendy? This is a person that I would totally bang if I had an opportunity. I'd eat a fucking pepperoni pizza, go to bed, take a nap. It'd be an awesome day. Come on. And don't act like you haven't given it thought, because we've all thought about who we would bang in every situation. There's probably one in every room for me, and I'm a girl. So you're a guy, and probably 10 in every room for you.
I would have to say the name that's coming to mind, and no disrespect.
Who gives a shit? No disrespect. We get it.
Okay, it's fine. Michelle Belenke.
Fucking duh. She's got big tits.
Has nothing to do with the tits.
You wouldn't fuck her tits.
I'm sure I would, but it has nothing to do with it. It's the fact that it's just the intelligence of her is what I find attractive. Her intelligence, how she comes up with the material, how she talks, how she handles herself, the grace, the poise. I mean, yes, she's physically attractive. I'm not going to lie. And yes, she is very sexually attractive. But for me, what gets me to a woman is the brain, first and foremost. You are someone I'm attracted to, but I love your brain first and foremost, because how smart you are, how fast you are with your wit. I mean, the stuff that you've been able. I've seen you do shows where you've literally been beyond exhausted and still been able to pull 30 minutes together out of your ass, and I was like, where did that come from?
Or whatever happened in a bathroom.
Yeah. Where did that come from? Well, it came out of my ass.
There we go. And I mean, I'm glad to see you. You know, you're still keeping your toe in comedy. Obviously, with your work schedule, there's only certain shows you can do.
I'm in Hanover this Thursday, everybody.
Hello.
Bourbon Bar and Grill, Carlisle Avenue, Hanover, PA. Come see me, 8 p.m.
Yes,
Free show.
where my psycho lives.
I'm sorry, you're psycho.
Yes.
Let's not talk about it. Let's
Lucky
see.
yours is that far away.
So Michelle Belenke, top of the list.
That would be the number one.
Top of the pyramid. Who else? Give me the second one.
Second. Wow.
I mean, there's a lot of chicks, dude.
There are a lot of chicks.
I like Jessica Garrett a lot.
Jessica's
Liz Curtis, I like. Liz Russo's fucking hot as shit.
Liz Curtis would be.
But she hasn't been on the couch and she's not local.
I know, but not. I know.
Well, I mean,
she
if you
is hot.
expand
You know
the-
who's not local? Kat Timpf and Kim Ambrose, and those are my top two bitches, and I would totally do a sandwich.
I
with
would. Kat Timpf. I would definitely.
I know.
Kat Timpf. I would. Yeah.
I know.
Missy?
Missy, fuck yeah, Missy. I'd motorboat the shit out of Missy.
You know, Missy and I have become good friends since we first met, and I would say, yeah, I would have to, because she's just. I mean,
okay, let's ask the other question. Okay,
Oh,
well,
okay,
since
go ahead.
everybody's a yes, is there anybody you wouldn't bang?
Yeah, there's a couple people I wouldn't touch.
Yeah. Well, let's not say their names, because if I like them, I'll punch you in the dick. I mean, you're a nice guy.
I'd like to believe that.
Is there anything you want to talk about, Dave? Anything you want to bring up? Anything I didn't bring out on my notes?
We didn't talk about the Psycho. I figured you would have a field day with that one.
No, not interesting.
Okay, then.
I've got one on the couch.
Wrong type of Psycho.
Oh, I know. Questions I didn't go over. You may not. The Destiny Baron thing.
Again, that's me being inappropriate, but not illegal, and I didn't know how the.
So you think you think there's a line? You just drew a line. You said that was inappropriate, but I wasn't being illegal.
Well, no, because what I had heard came back was that the dick prick that was sent to Raquel, or sorry, the unnamed person, however you want to do it. Sorry, hang on. The dick pic that I sent to the said female comic somehow in the rumor mill of Baltimore comedy became the dick pic that was sent to Destiny Baron.
Uh-huh. Who's now Destiny Decker on Facebook if you want to look her up.
I have no desire to look her up, none whatsoever.
I was talking to listeners.
Okay, well there we go. I had listeners. But no, I mean
4 people in chat. I was talking to them.
Or
10.
10.
Ooh, Dave.
10 people in chat.
People want to be on your dick pictures.
Don't think so. Trust me,
I know they don't.
No. There's a streak going on, and trust me, Cal Ripken looks at me going, "Buddy, it's hysterical." Look, I look at it like this: the Destiny thing. That was me in a really tough and bad situation. I crossed the line of appropriate language, but I didn't do anything inappropriate in terms of sending pictures, which I was allegedly accused of doing.
If she wanted to fuck you, would you let her?
Then or now? Because now I think about
it. The fact that I didn't get a yes or no, it's a yes.
No, it's not necessarily a yes. Hold on for a second. How are you quantifying the question?
Gives a shit. If she was like, "Hey, Dave, what are you doing later?" It could be me.
If she's legal and of sound mind and body,
so yes,
anything could happen.
You fucking scoundrel.
No, I'm not being a scoundrel. I'm trying to.
I think she's like 14, dude.
Then she somehow got younger. So there we go. Awesome. More power to me.
Black don't crack.
Exactly.
Okay. Right. So I'm like, wow, we're getting through this stage.
Yeah.
What happened with Magoobies? Why'd you get let go from Magoobies?
You sure you want me to open that can of worms?
We don't have to. These are questions I didn't go over.
Okay, so
you can say next.
No, I could, but I'd rather be honest with you. Why I got let go from Magoobies was a variety of reasons, threefold. Reason number one was I revealed information to someone very high up at Magoobies that I shouldn't have revealed to. Reason number two was that allegedly, according to 2 different comics, I was trying to get them to do bar shows, which never really happened.
Mm-hmm.
And reason number 3 was at 3:30 in the morning, having a private conversation with someone at Magoobies, well after hours. That conversation got back to somebody, and boom, that person said, "No, you should not have had that conversation. You're out."
Okay. How long did you work there?
About a year.
Okay.
What is it?
A year. There's been it's not. I've seen you do this. When you go to shows and/or running a show, and you just like watch DVDs at the tables, like while the show's going on.
I've never. I want to be very clear with this. I have never not paid attention to a show.
Yeah, but you've been like watching movies while it's happening. You did it to me at High Tops twice.
If it's a show that I'm producing.
No, at High Tops you were like literally sitting at a table with like your DVD player and been watching it.
Right. I want to be very clear. If it was a show that I was producing, that my name was on it, I did not do that. If it was a show that somebody else was doing, because I'm not a very social.
So if somebody went to your show that you were producing,
right,
popped open a laptop, watched a movie, would you feel that was disrespectful?
I would. Yes, I would.
So but you were totally okay doing it with a show that somebody else was producing.
You gotta understand, I'm not a social person, and I
get it, but you just said it'd be disrespectful. So if you wouldn't want it done to you, why would you do it to somebody else? Because it's taken me a long time to understand that. That do unto others?
No, not to do unto others as others do unto you. It's taken me a long time to understand that is disrespectful, because I would use that as a protection. I would use that as a way to not deal with people, because there's certain people.
Yeah, but you have to know there's like a certain common sense, like a certain standard, like a social standard. You know, if you're producing a comedy show, you would not want somebody sitting there watching a movie on a laptop. Why would you do that to somebody else who's producing a comedy show? You do the same job that they do. You wouldn't want somebody doing it to you. So what makes it okay for you to do that? There's certain
people I don't. To be honest, there's certain people I don't respect in this business either.
So why would you even go to their show? Why?
Maybe because I was trying to check out a particular comic, and I don't know. Sadly, I don't recall the show in question. But maybe I was trying to either I was going to support somebody or check out a particular comic to hopefully have them do my rooms, or maybe a comic asked me to be there.
Yeah, but if you came at me and you were like, "Hey, I run a room. I'd really like you to do it," I'd be like, "Oh, weren't you the guy on the fucking laptop watching, Predator all night?"
Anything's possible.
I would be like, "You want me to do jokes for you?
No,
Are you
of course
even
not.
watching
No.
my jokes?"
Look, knowing now, no, that's not what I do. But I mean, there was a point in time where I would travel with a laptop. I would travel with DVDs. When I was running rooms in Carroll County, I would get there so early that I would have 2 or 3 movies with me and, watch a movie halfway through. And as the crowd was as the crowd was coming in, as the comics would show up, I'd be like, let's until 7:00, don't bother me, because I would be so overwhelmed with people being there. I'm like, there's no one that's here. I understand something, and maybe this has never happened to you, or maybe it has. I don't know, and I'm not trying to get into like the therapy side of things. I have a major issue with people complimenting me. I have a major issue with people thinking that I'm worth something. I have a major issue with people actually liking me. And there are certain people that I trust that have earned my trust. There are certain people that have violated that trust. So when I'm at shows or when I was at shows, I would just cocoon up, put the headphones on, and just be like, okay, fine. And then the show starts, turn it off, and watch and pay attention as best I could.
If you have an issue with people liking you or complimenting you, don't you think social media is the last place you should be, and or putting all of your most exposed, vulnerable thoughts onto?
Yeah, I would have to say yes. But I'm also a very lonely person. And it hurts. I'm not going to lie. It hurts when people that say, oh, you can turn to me for anything. And then when I take them up on it and they're not there. I can understand people have lives. I can understand people to be busy. Some of my closest friends.
Do you? You made a status the other day about someone texting you and them not texting you back in the middle of the day. I couldn't respond to people for 2.5 hours today because I had a meeting.
Understood. You're a busy person. That text was not directed at one particular person.
No, but here's the thing. Others are busy also.
True enough. That tweet was directed to someone that I've known for now 3 some years. Someone that calls me one of their close friends. Someone that tells me, I'm always there for you. And when my grandmother died, first person I said, hey, I need you. And has yet to respond to that text message. Has yet to even say, I'm sorry that your grandmother died. Meanwhile, I have seen on their personal media page, they can go out and bar crawl with their friends.
I just think if you are, you say you have these social anxieties, this disorder, you can't take compliments, this stuff is hard for you.
It's very hard. Understand.
What I'm telling you is if this stuff is hard for you, David, you need to not be on social media because you're judging that person for being busy and they're doing things on social media. And now because they couldn't cater to your text message, you're upset with them. Like you have to practice forgiveness. Like maybe they forgot or they looked at it and thought they responded. I mean, there's so many things. It's like social media creates like an attention deficit.
It does. And there's actually been studies about the detrimental side of social media. And I've actually been advised by several people that actually have mental health training that I need to back down. That, hey, if I want to promote a show, fine. If I want to promote a comic in town or promote a podcast, go for it. But in terms of personal thoughts, feelings, back the F down. And it's really been difficult for me to do that because I'm so used to.
I think they've only exacerbated recently. I think they're more prominent now than they've ever been.
It's possible, maybe because of the attention that I've drawn to myself. Obviously, people know that I'm close with what happened yesterday with Amanda Tracy. People know that I'm, with shutting down Uncle Dave comedy. There were many comics that thought it was a joke, that I was that I'm shutting it down, taking 2 weeks off, and then I'm going to be back. I'm not coming back. I'm being very clear. Maybe down the road, and I'm not trying to leave that as an opening. I'm just saying I'm out. I'm done. The damage.
Saying maybe down the road completely just nullifies you saying.
What I mean is I'm not saying never, but You just said
never coming back. You did say never.
Understand the bigger picture of it all. Yes, I understand. I'm saying I'm using the word never, but I got to back down for my own mental health and wellness.
And I understand that, but don't
and-
make it finite if it's not finite. You basically said never. You definitely said never. And then you said, I never said never. That's exactly what you said.
That is okay. Yeah, no, I understand what you're saying. Maybe I'm using the wrong terminology. Maybe I'm using the wrong words. It's just, I got to back down for myself because I noticed the last several months I was having problems, significant problems at home, by myself, just dealing with people, dealing with certain people, dealing with just my own self, by my, and I think this is the decision that needed to be made. And there's some people that disagree with it. I mean, I've had some people like, dude, you do a great job. You know what you're doing. You shouldn't walk. Just maybe.
I think a lot of comedians have said that to you. And I mean, it's public. They've all said, don't do it. Stick around. We like your rooms. And I mean, granted, there's a lot of open mics, but like in the Baltimore area, there aren't.
I think there are enough open mics in the Baltimore area that are doing well enough that you don't need one more. And I'm not trying
that's
to.
your personal opinion.
That's my personal opinion, and
There's
I'm not
so
trying to
many
be trying.
comics now; it's saturated. That I think we
Yeah,
need more
there
than
is
one more.
there is a significant oversaturation of comics. Like when you first started doing the open mic circuit, I think there was maybe 5 or 6 rooms in the Baltimore area that you really could go to actually be treated as a comic. There's always been the underground circuit, and there always will be the underground circuit. But comics don't even know where that is anymore. And speaking on the state of comedy, I mean, look. With what happened yesterday and how everyone took shots and said what they needed to say, fine.
I don't think they were taking shots. I think they were offended. I was personally offended.
There were people
because
that
I know
were hurt.
people that have died from cancer. I've had family members die from cancer. I know people with cancer. I'm fucking offended that you think that this is just can be taken in jest.
I'm not saying jest. Hold on. Whoa. I'm not saying jest. I know people were hurt. I know people were offended. I know people were taken aback.
They genuinely liked her, and they were lied to, and they were manipulated and betrayed. Why wouldn't anybody take a stab at that?
There's a part of me that is hurt and offended and feels manipulated.
Yeah,
but
you
I also
empathize with her.
I empathize
because you are like, well, I too have a mental disorder. I too have fabricated and manipulated.
I'm not justifying what she did. I'm not justifying or condoning what was allegedly done or what has been done. What I am saying is that I'm not going to turn my back on someone that needs help. Period.
She hasn't asked for help. She wants.
True enough.
We'll
see what happens.
She not asked for help. She legitimately is so stuck on the lie that she had unfriended over 100 local comedians and is now claiming that someone's a pedophile.
Yeah,
that's a fucking big accusation to make.
It's definitely something that I have a hard time swallowing. But and here the but factor is.
So if I just straight out was like, you know what, Dave, you suck. You don't believe I have cancer. You're a pedophile. I'm calling the FBI or have called the FBI. You'd still be my friend?
Well, I don't believe that in that situation I don't believe that herself and the accuser are still even in contact with each other. But
I'm just saying that's a bold fucking statement to make. It's a bold move. Calling someone a pedophile because they've outed your fake disease.
It is I'm not disagreeing with you. It is a bold move.
I mean, the disease itself isn't fake, but you having it is fake.
Yes, I totally agree. I'm not saying it's not a bold move. I'm just saying that it's just I'm caught in a quandary because I've grown to care about the person and I want to see the person well and I want to see the person in wellness.
I think tough love is how you do that. You can't like you said your parents enable. It's exactly what you're doing with this person.
Perhaps
I think you are absolutely doing that.
I mean, again,
you're enabling this person and you're allowing her to get away with the lies. You're allowing it to happen because you do want to be friends with her, and I totally understand this is close to you. This is someone that when I've texted some dark things or I've said some dark things in person, this is a person that's reassured me with a hug, with a look. Why don't you go to someone who's healthier? Why don't you be reassured by those of us who are healthy and are willing to?
Because I have a hard time believing that people that have...
You want someone as equally as messed up?
No.
Then
Let me be very clear on that. I don't want someone as equally as messed up. My ex that you don't want to talk about, fine, I get it. She offered me, I'll give you this nugget of information. She told me several months ago, I could up and move into her home. She would take care of me, pay me money to watch her kids, and she worked a night job, and I could still do what I wanted to do as long as I was there to grow, to have a family with her, to raise the family with her. She did more damage to me than any other thing I've ever was done to myself. I have a hard time believing I'm worth anything.
Okay.
I'm not trying to break into tears. I'm not trying to make this into an Oprah thing.
Look, I'm not trying to do any of those things either, but you are catering to it. You are becoming you're a victim now.
I'm not.
And you are
I'm not
playing the
it.
victim. If you know for a fact, you just opened up. You said she's damaged you. You need to fix it. You need to want to be better. You need to. Yes, I know. I'm talking about your ex. You just said that she's done damage to you.
She's done significant damage.
Okay, well, if that's how you feel, stop being the victim. Get help, fix the damage, move on, get better.
I'm truly trying, and it's very difficult.
How long ago did you date? You cannot keep holding on to this stuff. You can't keep being the victim. You're 41 years old.
I'll be 41 in June, yeah.
Yeah, you cannot keep doing that to yourself. You are allowing yourself to be the victim. You are the woe is me. You are, this is what's wrong with my life. I can't fix it. I can't move on from it.
It's hard for me to move on because the person that my most recent ex, here's the double whammy kicker of everything for those that are playing at home. It's not my most recent ex. It's also my first childhood sweetheart. We there was a gap of 10 years.
We all have one of those, Dave.
So I dated her as a teenager, fell madly in love with her, lost contact for 10 years, and then she came back into my life. We dated on and off, and it just got. It's been hard for me. It's been almost in January of this year was 6 years since we broke up.
That's a long time, Dave. It's over half a decade.
True enough.
I'm sorry, but you need to move on. You need to let it go. If it's bothering you that much still and you are this much the victim, you need to talk to someone. You need to get help. And it's preventing you from living a normal, functioning life.
I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm not. I'm
no, I know, but you enjoy sitting in this victim role.
No, I do not.
Then get out. Then stop being this person. Get out of it. Find a way out of it. Talk to someone. Get a professional. Move on. Cut off contact. Don't take any calls from her when she's like, "Hey, I'll pay you to watch my kids and we can be together." Don't allow yourself, have the willpower. Don't allow yourself to do that.
No, I agree. It's hard to have that willpower. It's hard to say no.
I know it's hard. But if you want to be better, you will make it happen. You want better for yourself.
I don't know if I want to be better.
It's going to be fucking hard as shit. It will always be hard as shit.
But I don't know if I want to be
Everything
better.
Worth having is worth fighting for. If you want wellness, you want betterness, you want to be good, you want to not be the victim.
I do not disagree with you, but I don't know if I honestly. Someone asked me once, I was like, why can't you just be happy for other people, or why can't you do this, or why can't you do that? And
I don't think that you're not happy for other people. I don't see that.
I don't know how to be happy for myself. And that's what I got to learn how to do. And that's
until you learn how to do it, we're all going to just be like, why are you so depressed? Why are you making these statuses? Stop being the victim.
I'm not arguing with you.
I know you're not arguing with me, and I'm not here to berate you. I'm here to tell you.
No, you know what?
I'm being honest with you.
And I understand that. And there was a couple of people that messaged me and said, "Are you prepared to do this with Wendy? Because Wendy ain't gonna pull punches with you." And I'm like, I'm glad she asked me. I really am. I'm glad you asked me to be in here, and I'm glad that we're doing this because you're one of the few people that, though we don't talk often. And when we do talk, it's, sporadic and whatnot. I hold you in significantly high regard. Always. And knowing how hard knowing what you've sacrificed to get to where you are, the fact that you're working your dream, the fact that you are living the way that you want to live, the fact that you're doing the things that you want to do, there's a sense of pride in me that is overwhelming because I know where you were when I first met you. And I love being honest with you. I love the fact that you get me to open up in ways that no one else can.
Because I want you to be better. I don't want you to sit there and I don't want you to wallow. I want you to want these good things for your life. If you love that thing about me, if you're looking at me and you're like, I love these things about you, you've done for yourself, you were, in an abusive relationship and things were shitty for you and you've turned around and everything's amazing, you're working your dream. Wouldn't you want that for yourself? Wouldn't you want to feel this amazing?
I have a hard
time. Have these accomplishments?
I got a hard time believing I'm worth anything. That's the core. That's the
I know,
core
and
of my entire life.
This is the third time I've heard that from you, but I'm going to say it again. You are allowing yourself to feel that way.
Whether I'm allowing myself, whether it's some genetical...
Dave, you need to talk to someone. You have to talk to someone. You are going to constantly play the victim and be scrutinized, or else you're going to be the person that talks to someone, gets better, feels better about themselves, moves on, and lets the past not reflect their future.
True, I wish my past would not define me.
You are letting it. You are allowing it.
I don't disagree with you on that one. I'm not.
Don't be upset with me.
I'm not upset.
You are upset.
I'm upset, but
You're
I'm not
emotional, and I don't want you to be upset with me.
I'm not upset with you. I understand something. For those that are watching on the stream, for those that are going to hear this in the replay, I have the utmost respect for you, who you are, and what you've accomplished and where you're going in life. And I love you dearly because to see you achieve these things, knowing what you've gone through, is incredible. Because there's people that don't even have a tenth of the strength that you've somehow summoned in yourself to move forward. That would be like, you know what? I'll just be this. That's not you. You're not going to settle. You're going to fight tooth and nail to be the person you want to be. That's amazing to me because you could easily, you're an attractive woman. You know a ton of people. You could easily be someone's trophy wife or trophy girlfriend. You could easily just cash in a ticket or two and just be like, well, you know what? I'll just live here. That's not you. Nothing you have ever done, as far as I've known you, has been the easy way in. It's always been the hard way.
But my dad knows that for sure, don't you, Pop?
Your dad, I hope your dad is as proud of you as I am because, man, for the people that talk shit about you, and there are people that do that, you know that.
Oh, I am totally aware.
They don't understand the reason why I have the respect for you is because there is nothing on this earth that's going to get between you and where you want to be.
Yeah, but you can also do that with your own life.
I got a hard time believing I can do that.
Well, you need to stop feeling that way. Look at me right now.
It's not a victim mentality. It's a bio-neurogenetical thing. You got to understand, I'm seeing my dad, and I know we said we're not going to talk about parents here, but my dad hasn't been healthy in many, many years. And I'm not talking about physically healthy. I'm talking about mentally healthy. My grandfather passed away because of mental disorders. I see what's going on with my dad. I see what's going on with me. Man, I just don't know if I have the ability to break that cycle. And that's, you said you've never seen me with a girlfriend for as long as you've known me. Because I don't know how to trust someone to say.
You trusted a person that lied to you about cancer, Dave. You can trust people. You should trust somebody that's worth trusting.
True enough. Okay. I agree on that one.
I mean, look, I'm brutally honest with you. I don't hold anything back from you. I even wrote on your little goodbye card at your last show, and you didn't even confront me about it.
Should I?
Yeah, I basically said you're a narcissist in the best form. You're like, this is my goodbye show that I ran and I put together myself. By the way, these are my cards you can sign for me. This is my away speech. And I get it, it's your last show, but like, come on, Dave, we all are paying attention. We've all done your shows. We get booked by you. You promote all of our shows. Like, what else? What other attention do you need from us? What is it that you need? What do you require? Because you're the one that's like, I can't take a compliment, but you get pissed off if you don't get one. Like, you're a constant, like a hypocritical anomaly.
Yeah, okay. Hearing it and seeing it that way was something that I just, that's the first time I've seen it. Okay. I have to take a little bit of a moment to figure that out. I don't know how long a moment I'm going to need, but yeah, I didn't see it that way. Whoa.
I mean, you're a nice guy. Everybody likes you. We want you to do rooms. I'm on board with that. But you know what I'm not going to do? I'm not going to cater. I'm not going to be the person that's like, oh, Dave, please come back. Do this. We love your rooms. I mean...
No, I'm not asking for anyone to.
And that's not. It's just not me. It's not how I am.
No, of course not. I would never say it would.
You are the one who states, "Oh, I can't take a compliment," and then you're like, it'd be really nice to get a thank you. Like, you are that person.
Well, I guess in a way, okay. Maybe it's because I can.
It'd be really nice if you could answer your text messages, but I can't take a compliment. I mean, it's like, what are you doing?
Maybe it's
we don't get where you're going.
You ever heard the term queer duality? And I'm not using queer in a negative sense. You ever heard that term? Does that ring any bells to you?
It does not.
Okay. Mike, have you ever heard that term queer duality? Okay. Growing up, I was a huge Don and Mike fan. And they would use that term.
So was Michael.
They would use that term a lot, queer duality.
He doesn't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. It was.
And he listens to every episode.
No, not Mike O'Mara podcast. The Don and Mike show.
He listened to every episode.
Don on Wava. Yeah.
Yeah. No, this is after they jumped from Wava to JFK. And every now and again, like, when Tom the Monster would call in or whatever, they'd be like, the queer duality. And one day I kind of looked it up, like, what the hell does that mean? What does that mean? And it's a dissociative thing where I understand that on one hand I'm asking for this, and on the other hand I'm saying that. That's the queer duality of me. And I'm not saying it in a derogatory way. Like, yes, I would like, pardon me. I would like to be thanked for certain things. And yes, I would like to be communicated for certain things. But I'm not trying to be anyone's center of attention. I'm not trying to be
right, and I understand that.
It would be nice to be involved in a healthy thing.
From the outside looking in, you're like, oh, it'd be nice to be thanked for that. It would be nice to be appreciated for that. And then you're the guy that sits in that seat and says to me, I can't take a compliment. I don't think that I'm worth it. Then stop asking for it if you don't think that you're worth it.
Then I'll stop asking. I mean,
I'm not here to dictate. I'm not here to tell you what to do or how to live your life.
It's.
I'm telling you to be aware, be self-aware. I'm not here to tell you.
It's hard for me to be self-aware on that level.
It's hard for you to be self-aware on many levels. Mm-hmm. But I'm not here to dictate. I'm telling you, this is what from an outside looking in. Yeah, I mean, it's a complete hypocrisy.
I mean, look, I don't want to pull the curtain back too far, but I mean, there have been several times.
The curtain is pulled.
There have been several.
I see the wizard.
There is no. My cat's the wizard. I mean, look, there have been several times over knowing you or in our friendship where you have, without provocation, texted me and said, "Are you okay?"
Yeah.
Okay. Those texts, messages, phone calls, whatever they were, meant more to me than some of the people that I've known for years. One of my closest friends, who I'm no longer on speaking terms with on any level, told me one day. She said, we've known each other for years, and I can't wait to see how the rest of the next chapter of our lives. And I said, I would love to believe that, but the only time I'm in your life is when you're in between boyfriends. And she looked.
Yeah, but that's anyone.
And she looked at me and she goes, "How dare you say that? I mean, you've done this and you've done that," and then literally got a new boyfriend, and I haven't seen her or talked to her since. And for the people that actually stick to their words, that means something to me. And it's hard because, and I don't know if you've ever dealt with these thoughts. I don't know, Mike, if you've ever dealt with these thoughts. It's really difficult for me to believe that I mean something to somebody else. And I'm not trying to say, oh, woe is me. I'm not trying to say, oh, poor me. It's just something in my head at the moment. Maybe, hopefully, I'll be able to get into programs and get into therapeutic issues or therapeutic programs that will allow me to believe in myself and restructure my self-confidence and make me a better David Shofer. But for right now, it's really difficult for me.
Because you don't want it enough.
No, I do want it.
You don't.
No. I do.
But what do you mean maybe eventually I'd get into programs? Like, sign up for one. Get off your butt. Go find somebody. Go find a life coach, a therapist, something. Like, don't look at me and tell me that stuff. If you want something, find a way to get it.
I do want that. It's just, it's getting everything in order to get to that.
I don't even know what that means.
Getting insurance paperwork together, getting financial
You're
paperwork.
Making excuses.
I'm not making
excuses.
You are
making excuses.
I'm making reality.
You probably pay way less bills than I do, and you're making excuses.
Perhaps I do, perhaps I don't.
David?
Yes?
Stop.
Okay.
You know there are programs, there are free programs, there are people you can talk to, there's government things that you can do. Don't be this guy.
Okay. I mean, I'm not trying to be that guy. I'm just saying that it's just, there's a lot of things that I put as an important priority. If you went to anyone who knows and loves you and said, I need help, I want to talk to someone, I guarantee you would have a number, a name, and no cost within a day. Yeah, I mean, no, there is someone.
Do you know how many people I've seen reach out to you on Facebook? A ton. Dave, call somebody. Let me call somebody for you. Dave, talk to me. Dave, what's going on? Don't sit there and tell me, oh, the insurance papers.
All right, well, again, I'm not. Yes, I'm making a mountain out of a molehill. Yes, I am using certain excuses. That being said, and this is not a legitimate excuse, is that sometimes my priorities, I put things in the wrong way. and it's just how I was raised, how I was instilled. There's certain things I need to get finalized before I want to start working on myself, and I hate to do that, but that's.
I hate to break it to you, but if you don't work on yourself first, what is it that you need to finalize? Because you are the person that's finalizing.
There's
shit.
a couple of financial debts I got to get done.
David, stop. Your mental health is not worth whatever financial debt you think that's swallowing you. It could probably also aid in how you handle your financial debt.
Possibly.
I'm not a therapist, but I'm telling you, like, you are literally giving me a list of excuses of why you can't help yourself.
No, I'm not disagreeing with. I'm not disagreeing with you on the overall. I'm just saying that this, it's looking at a thing in a completely different light. I can't just flip a switch and turn around and be like, okay, I'm going to look at it this way.
Then stop telling me you want something that you're not willing to get. You know it's true. It's exactly what you just said.
Okay.
Don't be mad. I'm being honest with you.
No, I'm not. This is the farthest thing from mad that I am right now. I swear on whatever you hold sacred. This is the farthest thing that I am mad at. This conversation and the way this is going, I'm not disappointed or mad at. I'm very pleased that you're confronting me with my own bullshit. Because there are very few people that actually do that to me.
Because I believe in tough love. I grew up that way, and I'm sorry, but I'm not going to enable you. I'm not going to pet you and say everything's going to be fine when you need to be the one that gets up and gets it. Get what you want from life.
No, I agree. I agree wholeheartedly, 100%. I agree with where you're coming from. It's just someone of my age group saying this to me.
Your age is just a number, dude. Do you know how many people I know in their 50s and 60s
that don't
like
have
that?
That don't have their shit together?
Not only do they not have their shit together, but they're like recovering, or they've had fucking milestones they've had to get through to realize they want to work on themselves. It doesn't matter the age. If you were 78 years old and you have 2 years to live, and you wanted to feel good about yourself and do things for yourself and like feel good inside, and the last 2 years of your 80 were the only time that it happened, it would be totally worth it. So stop making excuses. Their age is a number. It does not matter.
Not disagreeing with you. I'm 100%.
You just made an excuse that your age was a factor.
I don't think I wanted. Perhaps it came out the wrong way as age being an excuse. It's just to have someone in my age group, to have someone that I trust, someone that I value, someone that I care about, say these things to me right to my face.
Because I want to be honest with you.
I appreciate that.
And if I didn't care,
there are people,
I would not even be having this conversation with you.
There are people that I've known for years that sugarcoat things around me.
Because they're afraid. You make it very scary. You make it sound like you are going to go off yourself somewhere. Like, I'm not kidding you. You do make it very scary to confront you. You make it hard, and people feel like they have to walk on eggshells and tiptoe around what they really need to say to you.
If I'm giving that impression, then I completely apologize.
Read your own Facebook statuses and tell me you're not giving that impression.
Okay. I'm not. Look, if I really wanted to go down that road, I've already tried it once. It didn't succeed. You want to see?
How did that make you feel?
Pissed off.
That you didn't succeed at committing suicide?
Yeah.
But then why don't you succeed at living?
Because I've never been a success. Because
but why don't you just stop trying to kill yourself, turn around and succeed at life? You've had a whole bunch of it. Be good at it. Or if you're not going to be good at it, try to be good at it.
All right.
Feel good about it. Feel good about yourself. It's fucking worth it. I'm telling you.
No, yes, you're right. You're right on that one. It's going to be, yeah, I would agree with you. It would feel worth it.
You know it would. You've seen what it does to others when they feel like they've worked really hard and they do something that they've worked so hard and they earned it, and they get something and it's so amazing and it feels so great and it's so well deserved. Don't you want that feeling at least like once in your life?
Yes, I do. So
why not get that feeling?
Because I don't think I deserve it.
Stop. I'm not doing that again.
That's-
I'm not going to just talk in circles here.
No, I'm not trying to talk in circles. I'm just saying you asked a question. I'm giving you the answer. I don't think I deserve it. Period. There's a reminder on my body.
Every person deserves it. You could be the shittiest person on the planet. If you wanted to turn your fucking life around and be a good person and feel good about yourself, you're worth it.
There's a reminder on my body every day that I look at that, is proof that I survived something.
How has that not been motivation?
Because we're going down this road here, and it's because
We're already far down the rabbit hole.
I know we're far down the rabbit hole, and I appreciate where we're going with this, or where we've gone with this. It's just, for me, thinking that I'm worth something, regardless of who I'm talking to. And again, I'm not trying to talk in a circle. I'm not trying to play poor me. I'm not anything like that. But for me, to make myself the center of my own universe is something I've never done in 40 years.
Then
ever.
who is? Who is the center? Your cat? Your parents' basement? Your Mustang that you don't own anymore? Like, what is it that's motivating you? What are your motivators?
I have to find.
It has to be you, Dave. You have to be your own fucking motivator.
I'm not denying that. I'm sorry for sniffling on mic here. I'm not denying that. It's just it's very difficult for me to put myself first, period. I've always been selfless in my own mind. I've always been selfless. I've always put others first. I've always made sure
then
someone
spare
else
me these sad Facebook statuses because you're not putting me first when you do that. Because
Consider
I don't want to
yourself
read
spared.
that shit. I don't want to read it. It's sad. It's it's self-deprecating. It's not good. So if you're putting others first, spare us all from this sadness. Be a happy person. Go out, get some sunshine. Go swimming in your parents' pool, or fucking go get a fucking slushie, or Rita's Italian Ice, because gelati is probably the best thing I've ever tasted.
I've never had one. I'm not
Dave
kidding.
Shofer bucket list. Hashtag 2015. Hashtag gonna happen. Hashtag starting with Rita's Italian Ice.
No, I've never had an Italian ice.
Then
I've
why
never
don't
had
you
a
just start
gelato.
live a little? Stop buying Jack Daniel's Tennessee Honey and buy a fucking gelati. Feel good about yourself.
Or
Feel
mix
good about
them.
a dessert.
Michael with the win. Did you hear that? This is why you keep him around. It's
Well,
3
that, and I
times.
mean, he's the brawn. I wouldn't have the show without him. That's why he keeps me around.
Well, you guys are a great team. Seriously,
Yeah, we are a great team.
it's
Not gonna
no, it's an amazing team. I mean, I just,
Stop, Dave. I don't know how to take these compliments.
Listen there, David. I mean, look, ooh, what the hell was that?
He was making sure you were listening.
Did we reboot something?
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't know what to expect coming in here, and I truly don't know how I'm going to feel leaving here. But I tell you this much, I'm never not going to respect who you are as both a broadcaster and as a friend. Meeting Mike in person. I mean, he seems to be a great guy.
He's a big fan.
And I'll always keep listening to the show regardless of who comes in here, and promote. And even with people I didn't care for that were on this couch, I still promoted their appearance.
Who?
I think episode 7.
Who's that? Just tell me who.
T-Brad.
Okay.
Yeah, I still made sure
That's
that
fine.
it was fine. And there is a part of me that misses that guy in a way, but sadly our histories, our paths had to go in different directions.
It's all right, dude. That happens. I've had many friendships that had to go in different directions. I grew. I moved on. I have great friends now.
True.
It's just how life is, baby.
True.
It's how life is.
And and here's the amazing thing about Wendy, not only is she as a performer and as a person, is that you mean what you say and you say what you mean, which is very, very rare amongst people your age group and even in my age group. There's almost a decade between us, give or take. I mean, that's just, a lot of people.
No, definitely give. There's a decade between us.
Yeah. There's a lot of people that just do lip service. You actually back it up, and I attest to this by the fact that you're normally one of the first 5 people to wish me a happy birthday. You're one of the first 3 people to wish me a happy new year. You're one of the first 3 people to go, holy shit, are you okay? Like that means something.
Does it mean enough for you to take control of your own life? Take control, be happy, wanting to move forward. How much does that mean to you?
It's hard for me to fathom that.
I don't get it.
Because you're not on this side of the world. I'm not talking about this couch. I'm talking about...
No, I get it. I get it. The realm of what, mental illness that's swallowing you. I get it. But you need to make it so it's not swallowing. You need to make it so. I get it's a disease.
Yeah.
I get things are wrong. Find a way. Find a professional. I don't know if it's medication or talking to someone or something.
There are things in the works that hopefully I can be within,
If insurance papers is holding you back, I'm going to punch you in the dick.
No, not insurance papers. There are things in the works. There are people that I'm talking to that are trying to get me into certain programs with medication, with talking to people that hopefully within sooner than a week, if
You're right.
not, that I can get.
Well, I hope to get a Facebook status within a week, and if I don't, I'm punching you in the dick.
Oh dear Lord, you don't want to do that.
Yes, I do.
You'll ruin the dick meme.
Well, the meme's already there. If you take a picture of your purple dick after I punch it, then I'm making a whole new meme.
For you, I shall do that. Just promise not to only share it in Baltimore. That's as far as I go.
No, I'm sorry, the whole world.
Damn it.
Sorry, that's how it is. Dave, thank you again for being on the couch. Thank you for opening up. Thank you for giving us a tilt-a-whirl in the world of Dave Shofer. And thank you for being thanks for being a little more vulnerable, a little more raw than usual. And I hope that you're not mad. I hope you don't fucking hate tweet me later. So, and by the way, Michael still is a big fan.
Oh, I appreciate that.
Wendy and friends, everybody, thanks again. Play us out, Michael.
You've been listening to Wendy and Friends. You can find more information on Wendy and her comedy at wendytownsend.com. Wendy is also on Twitter at Wendy Stars. That's Wendy with an I.